matinee to finish up weekend one of the state football high school championships. We're at War Memorial Stadium, a Sunday afternoon game in the 5A state title contest against Little Rock Christian and Pulaski Academy. As we welcome you inside our booth for the pregame show, my name is Scott Inman. This is RJ Hawk. Glad to have you with us as we walk up to the Bruins and the Warriors at 2 o'clock today. And RJ, we'll get to the matchup in just a minute, but the first place we have to start is why we're playing on Sunday afternoon. The weather causing a delay. This game was supposed to be played on Friday, and the game, of course, was postponed. Now, I think it was the right move. Let me say that first. But it does throw the teams and the coaches into a unique situation. They had put everything to bed. Everything was ready to go, and Friday morning, they've got a couple extra days.
Well, when you think about it, Scott, this is a unique situation because if you're Little Rock Christian, you're wanting a revenge game. You get a couple extra days to prepare for avenging that loss to Pulaski Academy earlier in the year. And then if you're PA, you think about, well, we didn't face Justice Hill earlier in the year, so now we've got a couple more days to really focus in on him. And there's so many different dynamics. And being that the 5A game was the first game to kick off all the state championship games, and they had to postpone that to now the first time in AAA history where they've got a game on a Sunday. A lot of things can be at play for this game today.
Well, Sunday afternoon's usually reserved for the pros to play football, but let me tell you, this is going to be an exciting game. There's going to be a lot of offense. We know that. Pulaski Academy and Little Rock Christian put up big numbers, but let's start with the coaches. Kevin Kelly coming in here. He has turned Pulaski Academy into Title Academy.
Well, when you think about it, they're going for their fifth straight state title.
Yep.
Try to get that thing out there. But I tell you what, when you look at Kevin Kelly and what he's done, it's all done through analytics. He is a coach that there's not a play that goes by on the football field that he doesn't go through his head mathematically how it's going to play out with percentages, with different areas on the field on what's going to happen. And you got to think that this is probably not his most athletic team that he's had in past years. You know, you think of Freddie Knighton and those type of players that have gone on to play big-time football. And you look at this team, and Coach Kelly's even said that, look, we have done this as a team effort. This has not just been one person. I know there's been a lot of emphasis on Hudson Henry, but it's been a real team effort. And I think it all starts with Hudson and Bratcher at the quarterback position. And think about this, Scott. Pulaski Academy, since 2013, they've only had 4 losses. Only one of them has been to an Arkansas school, and that was to Morrilton in 2013. Outside of that, it's been to schools outside the state of Arkansas.
That is an amazing stat. And on the other side of the football is Eric Kogiu, who has turned this Little Rock Christian program around. Had a lot of success as a high school coach in Alabama. Coached some pretty big-time names, and we'll get into that in the broadcast later on. But he also has a pretty good quarterback himself.
Well, Justice Hill, I mean, everybody knows about Justice. He is really a dual sport athlete. He's got a commitment to the University of Arkansas right now to go play basketball, and I think a lot of Razorback fans and a lot of fans in the state hope that he kind of changes his mind to go play football a little bit. But, man, he is a threat any way you look at it. He did not play in that game against Pulaski Academy earlier in the year just because he had a injured hamstring, and so he was held out of that game. Pulaski Academy went on to win that game, but, boy, he can do everything. He can throw it. He can run it. Just a dual-threat athlete that really – you talk to a lot of scouting agents and a lot of coaches, and they think that he's an SEC basketball player, but he could be an SEC football player.
Well, here's the tail of the tape. Let's take a look at the comparisons between the two big stars. For Pulaski Academy, it's the #1 tight end in the nation, and then it's Justice Hill at quarterback for LRC.
Well, when you look at Hudson Henry, he's the #1 tight end in the country, 1,400 yards, 14 touchdowns for Pulaski Academy. And then on the opposite side, Justice Hill, he's accounted for 2,492 yards, 35 touchdowns through the air, and has only thrown 4 interceptions. And, I mean, those are your highlight players of the game. And when you look at what Justice Hill brings to the team, I was talking to some coaches the other day, and I said, does Justice Hill really mean that much, because the score was so lopsided with Pulaski Academy earlier in the year. And I said, does he really mean that much? He said, oh, yeah. He said, because now as a defense, you have to prepare whether he's going to run it or throw it. So you have to prepare defensively for what he's going to do.
So those are the top talents, but certainly Coach Kelly says he'll use about 10 different wide receivers. There's a lot of talent on both rosters. For more on that, let's check in with the third member of our broadcast crew, Eric Sullivan, down on the sidelines. Eric.
All right, Scott and RJ first. Anthony Lucas, assistant coach from PA, told us all to smile today. It's a great day for some football,
Yes.
and we certainly will do that. Just real quickly, guys, a few minutes ago, I sat here and watched Little Rock Christian go over and over the onside kick. There's not a high school state championship game in the country where onside kicking means so much, rather unlike here in PA, which have made it such a weapon for them. And how about Braden Bratcher of PA, their quarterback? Almost like he had to replace Troy Aikman. That's how successful Lane Hatcher was the last 4 years with this Bruins football team, and he has really stepped up this year. And I really like John David White. This kid has a Rocky Balboa-type training method, meaning he runs hills during the week, even during season, and was such a competitor right there. And for, Justice Hill, I think what we get lost in is how great he is, but how about his the guys on his team, guys like Kendall Givens, Hightower, Logans. These guys have been such good weapons for him. They get open, they make plays. So we're going to talk about Hudson, we're going to talk about Justin, but I tell you what, guys, it usually comes down to the other guys doing something spectacular, especially in a game like this where so much offense will be on display. Can't wait for it. We'll see if Christian's ready for those onside kicks here in just a moment. As for PA, everybody's gunning for him. They know it. But I tell you what, Coach Kelly likes being the outlaw guy. We'll see if they can get another state championship here in just a little bit.
All right, Eric, that's a great point, too, because take last night's game between Bryant and North Little Rock. You had the Stars doing their thing, but it was a defensive end that made the biggest play of the game.
You're exactly right. And I've been doing games, the state finals, for 10 years now, and we've seen so many times the teams match up in the regular season, and then they get to War Memorial, and it's a totally different outcome. And so anytime you step between the lines here at War Memorial Stadium, it means something to players. It means, you've got entire communities showing up to watch these kids play, and man, it's just a lot of fun. It's for the seniors. It's the last time they're ever going to put on that uniform, so they're going to want to give a little bit more because it's they get to be a Bruin or be a Warrior for the last time. So real quick, I want to give you this. In the postseason for Pulaski Academy, they are averaging 63 points a game. Okay, they're giving up 27 points a game. For Little Rock Christian, 57 points a game, they're giving up 30 points a game. So, wow. I mean, it's going to be a dogfight all the way to the end.
Might have a 4-hour game today.
Yeah, it might be.
Settle in. It's going to be fun, but there's still much to do in the pregame show. We'll continue with that in just a moment. You're watching the 2018 Centennial Bank High School State Finals on AETN Sports.
Broadcast of this championship game is made possible by
Law Offices of Gary Green, a people's practice, representing people with serious injuries in areas of personal injury, nursing home negligence, and product liability. We are proud to be underwriters of AETN.
You'll find us at the end of a lot of long country roads, covering over 60% of the great state of Arkansas to provide reliable power to over 500,000 homes, farms, and businesses. The Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas, your local energy partners.
One of the best things about being a community-focused bank like Centennial is that we encourage our employees to volunteer and give back. That's why our bankers are often seen around town involved in activities that have less to do with money matters and more to do with supporting others. From charity events and disaster relief to Chamber of Commerce and civic activities, we enjoy rolling up our sleeves and helping make our community a better place. See for yourself the difference our local commitment can make. More information available at my100bank.com. Centennial Bank, member FDIC.
Welcome back to War Memorial Stadium. All the divisional finals are played right here at War Memorial. This is a venue with a storied history. In fact, it's been exactly 70 years since it was dedicated to our fallen war heroes. AETN's Chuck Dovish has the story. Take a look.
War Memorial Stadium was dedicated in 1948 as a tribute to all Arkansans who gave their lives during the 2 world wars and later included all wars. It's one of very few stadiums in the country to be dedicated to such an important cause. War Memorial Stadium's first event on September 18, 1948 was, of course, a Razorback football game against Abilene Christian. It was before that game when the stadium was formally dedicated, and the rest, as they say, is history. From that day forward, this stadium became the secondary home for the Fayetteville-based Razorbacks. Many an Arkansas football coach legend would play many a game here, from Frank Broyles to Lou Holtz and on. Sure, Fayetteville may have its mega stadium, but War Memorial has always been the football lover's favorite. simply because it hasn't gone crazy with the stands reaching for the skies. Here, basically every seat is a good seat. Even if you're at the top of the stands, you won't get lightheaded or need binoculars to see the players. Beyond sports, War Memorial's event list is quite impressive. Various top-name artists in the entertainment field have performed here, from the Rolling Stones on down. Hey, it's only rock and roll. War Memorial Stadium also hosted not one but two Billy Graham Crusades in 1959 and 1989, drawing hundreds of thousands of people. And so, whether it's sports, entertainment, or other events, War Memorial Stadium has been home to history for 70 years. It's been Arkansas's most beloved venue and will continue to be so, while at the same time serving as a distinguished memorial to all those who have served this country and made the ultimate sacrifice.
And War Memorial Stadium, of course, continues to make history as the home of the football state finals. And you can watch Chuck Dovish on Exploring Arkansas every weeknight at 10 o'clock on AETN.
For every moment, for every memory, from that first car to your first home, to your first child, and all the highs and lows that tomorrow might bring. For everything that matters most to you and your family, there's someone right around the corner dedicated to helping you protect what you love. Your local Farm Bureau insurance agent. Farm Bureau Insurance. Real service, real people.
Why choose local? Because local companies stay rooted in their communities. They support other local businesses and provide jobs for your friends and neighbors. At Fidelity Communications, we take great pride in being a local company that's dedicated to the communities we serve. Jobs and opportunities for the people you love. That's why you choose local. Fidelity Communications. We're here, we're local. Be connected with Fidelity, your local internet, TV, and home phone provider.
Well, Coach, you're back here for your fifth time now trying to get another state championship. I know every time I talk to you, you say, well, you know, this one's just as tough as the last one, but this one is going to be a tough game against Little Rock Christian.
Yeah, and I think this is tougher. You know, I remember our first one back in 2003 and how tough it was to win the first one. And then, honestly, the second one's a little bit easier, I think, especially if there's years between. But as you go along, this will be our 10th time here in the past 16 years, and we're going for our 8th championship. And in a row, they seem to be harder because, you know, the people around the community just start thinking it happens, and everybody kind of forgets that it takes hard work, it takes dedication to perfection, it takes so much commitment to be in this position. So, and then throw in the fact that we're playing a team that's, you know, kind of a crosstown rival type team and the emotion involved and all that kind of stuff. And then the fact that they're a really, really good football team, you know, this is probably going to be the toughest one yet.
You've already faced this Little Rock Christian team once this year in which you guys won, but a lot of people are saying Justice Hill, the quarterback, didn't play in that game. Does he add a different level for this Little Rock Christian team that you guys didn't see?
I think, you know, anytime you have a kid like Justice that's an SEC basketball player and football player, you know, you add that type of athlete to the field, especially at the quarterback position with what they do and things like that. It's definitely a difference maker. I mean, it's a completely different game, and you don't know how the butterfly effect is going to be in the game. I mean, maybe early in the game, you know, we sacked their quarterback this year and to win that game, but maybe he breaks out of it and goes and scores, and it's a different score and a different game. So definitely, he's a guy that's a difference maker, and we've definitely got our work cut out for it with Justice being back.
Speaking of quarterbacks, you've got a great quarterback in Braden Bratcher, and you think about all the PA quarterbacks that you've had, Freddie Knighton, you know, just the long list down the line, and you've got another one, and Bratcher might be one of the better ones of the three.
You know, Braden's definitely a different one. He's more along the Freddie line, and what I mean by that is I'm normally a guy that stays in the pocket and makes his reads and throws and masters the offense. Well, Braden can run pretty well, and last week he I think it was like the ninth best ever offensive effort in the country. He had 569 yards passing and 131 rushing, and he probably could have ran for more if I'd have let him. But so he does create a different element. I'm still learning how to coach that part of it a little bit, but as long as I can get him to play quarterback first and run second, and he's doing that right now at a high level, he does remind me of Freddie Knight quite a bit.
And I was left off Lane Hatcher off that group, who probably was one of the better quarterbacks that you've had, but watching him, just his poise in the pocket kind of reminds me a little bit of Lane.
Yeah, he definitely reminds me of a quicker Lane. Yeah. Lane was more of a wanted to throw first, and Braden right now is trying to do a little bit of both equally well, and then Lane would run when he had to. Braden runs when he has the opportunity to. And both of them very tough to defend. And I've just been blessed with quarterbacks with Freddie and Lane and Will Heffley and Adam Thrash and those kinds of guys. And I'm blessed with Braden. He's a great kid on top of it all, and he's just fun to be around every day.
One thing that a lot of people always look at your offense and what you're doing offensively, but defensively, you guys are playing really well defensively.
Yeah, we've played really well, especially at times on both sides of the ball. It seems like one side had to pick up the other. We either had a really good defensive game when we needed it because offensively we weren't clicking, or, like last week we weren't playing really well defensively, so our offense had to. And, I'm just praying that we can put it both together at the same time this week because we'll have to beat Christian.
When you talked earlier about your team, everybody kind of expects a state championship every year. But after that Harrison game that you just played, that was an emotional roller coaster. You guys were up and down, and then after that was over, you kind of can exhale a little bit and tell your guys we're going back to state.
Yeah, we knew Harrison was good. You don't get to this point and be undefeated if you're not really good. And we were really worried about them on offense. They do a lot of good things. They're well coached. And they had only given up, I think, 98 points all year. So I wasn't really counting on our offense to explode like that. And they showed us what they had. And, going into the middle of the second quarter, we're down 35-26 or something like that. And we get touchdown, onside, touchdown, onside, touchdown. And it was a game changer for us. But if we don't get those onside kicks, which is part of what we count on, that's part of who we are, it might be a different game. But instead, we came out and did those things, and our offense continued to score until the defense caught up, and then we were in good shape.
Coach, good luck today.
Thank you.
We've got more of the Centennial Bank Championships right after this.
This month in Passport, your on-demand library of the best of PBS.
I'm to be Sebastopol's wife. She knows something about Sebastopol. He has a secret.
We are living in an extraordinary era of science. This is the amazing human body.
These and other shows are available with Passport. Become a member of this PBS station. Sign in and start streaming today.
The Everett difference is much more than just vehicle sales and service. It's also our commitment to helping those who help others, like those who work to build communities, those who help to enrich the lives of children, those who provide a loving home to kids in need, and those who lend a helping hand when you need it. It's a privilege to work with these wonderful organizations, and we're grateful for everything they do. That's the Everett difference. Everett Buick GMC.
Well, Coach, it's great to see you here at the state championship games. And I tell you what, the progress your team has made since you've come onto the scene at Little Rock Christian has been phenomenal. You took a team that had won just a few games, and now you're a state champion or a state championship team.
Well, appreciate that. The team has responded real well since I've been hired on, and the second year to be in the state championship we're really excited about. And last year, we had a great, regular season going 9-1, but exiting the playoffs round one, I feel like was a big motivator for us this year to really prove ourselves, push through the playoffs, and players have really responded with, great road wins at Texarkana and Morrilton.
You've got a track record of making it to the state championships, not here in Arkansas, in Alabama. What have you taken from those state championship runs and kind of instilled in this team?
Well, the biggest thing that players have to learn is it's a week-in, week-out process, and it's all year. It's the off-season, the winter and spring, it's the summer work, and you really got to kind of not really look at the schedule, but just week-in, week-out, make yourself better. It's really competing against yourself. Be the best that you can be as a team, week-in, week-out. We want to take that mindset and not let, this team's too tough for us to beat or that team's not good enough to compete with us. We really want to focus on playing at our highest level, our standard every week.
You've got a player in Justice Hill that many think that he's an SEC caliber football player as well as a basketball player. It's amazing what he's done with the football this year, just being able to propel you guys to some big scoreboard wins.
Absolutely. I mean, there is no doubt he can play SEC football. Coach Kerryon Johnson, I've coached Jordan Matthews, who's one of the leading receivers in SEC history at Vanderbilt. Kerryon obviously was the player of the year in the SEC. And Justice Hill is balance, athletic control, body control, his athleticism, his speed, his knowledge of the game. He can certainly help the Hogs next year. And I'm not a basketball coach, won't speak on that end of it, but I would love to see him help the Hogs next year.
Let me ask you this. So you guys already played Pulaski Academy once this year in which you guys lost. Now, Justice did not play in that game. He's going to be here today for this game. What's the difference that he gives you guys versus them?
Yeah, in the Watson Chapel game, he had a slight tear in his hamstring, was out 3 weeks, and so that certainly impacted us the first time we played Pulaski. He is not only is he a playmaker with his arm and his legs, he distributes the ball to our other playmakers. Our offense really revolves a lot around the quarterback, distributing the ball, making plays, and being the general on the field. And he's got such a football high IQ that he's like having an assistant coach on the field. And so having him in the game really, we definitely want to be full force going in any football game, but especially having, we like to have our best player on the field, which will certainly help in the championship game.
How do you slow down the Pulaski Academy offense?
I think slowing them down is the key. You're not going to stop them. Coach Kelly's done a great job building an outstanding offense. They've got an outstanding offensive line. Their pass protection's phenomenal. They've got great receivers. The quarterback's done a good job for them this year. So, our goal is to score more points. Obviously, simplify it, but we would like to slow them down. We want to win the turnover battle. One key element for them winning so many games, so many championships is winning the turnover battle, usually with the onside kicks. So we really need to field the onside kicks. We'd certainly love to get some turnovers from them and not turn the ball over ourselves, but we want to win that turnover battle overall.
It's kind of unique that crosstown rivals that you play in conference play are now meeting in a state championship game.
Yeah, it appears, that Central Arkansas is well represented with a lot of teams playing in the championship at the 5A, 6A, 7A level. But, we play them in conference, and here we go again. So that makes it exciting.
Coach, good luck today.
Thank you so much.
We've got more of the Centennial Bank Championships right after this.
Last year's
Well, they were looking for a kicker, and they went to the guys' soccer team. Nobody wanted to do it, so my friend joked and said, hey, Savannah, she's played soccer for a while, and I'm sure she can. So we just went outside, kicked a few footballs, and the next day he gave me the jersey. Started in the game that Thursday night. I was nervous before kicks, but they knew I could do it, and that's what led to our victories most games, because I had a few kicks where it meant win or loss. There was a lot of pressure into the kicks, but having my teammates and the coaches on my back, and Arkansas and North Little Rock especially, they just believed in me. We worked our hardest and fought to get first and set our minds to it, and we did it. And being a part of that team was just incredible and made so much history. Football, there's a lot of aspects to it, not only on the field, but outside in the classroom. Overall, it's given me the experience just to stay on the right path and do my best in everything I do. My experience as being a kicker at North Little Rock High School has led to the opportunity and scholarship at Harding University to play soccer, and I'm just pursuing my athletic career. And I had a wonderful opportunity here just to keep going with athletics and be with a new team and carry the characteristics and everything with me. I would say to young girls who want to follow their dreams, just to believe in themselves and work for it. That's the main part. You know you can do it and you're capable of it, so just pursue it. I look back at all the experiences I've had, and I'm just grateful for everything.
And we certainly congratulate Savannah on her success in college as well. Back to War Memorial Stadium in just a moment. You're watching the 2018 Centennial Bank High School State Finals on AETN Sports.
You won't find it written in the sky.
Art can be seen as so foundational to civilization.
You can't buy it to get to it tonight.
It just had an electrifying impact on me.
Harder and harder to see what's true, but it's never been easier when I'm with you. Yeah, it's harder and harder and harder to doubt these things.
What we found was amazing.
Be absolutely outrageous.
And it came like a razor blade. Art is a mirror of the experiences of being here.
Welcome back to War Memorial Stadium. Little Rock Christian and Pulaski Academy less than 10 minutes away from doing battle for the 5A state championship game. Pulaski Academy beating Alma, McClellan, and Harrison along the way to get here. And Little Rock Christian finishing second behind Pulaski Academy in the 5A Central, beating Greenbrier, Texarkana, and Morrilton to get here. And the one thing, R.J. Hawk, that you notice right off that jumps out up the page at you is the number of points that both those teams scored in their path to the championship game.
I mean, you look, and really it was the semifinal games that everybody was kind of looking at because the Pulaski Academy Bruins, they had a dogfight with Harrison. It was 75-54, the final score in that one. But then if you look at it for the Morrilton game with Little Rock Christian, they won 61-41. Right now in the postseason, Pulaski Academy is averaging 63 points a game. Little Rock Christian is averaging 57 points a game, and both teams are giving up about 30 points in the postseason.
Wow.
And you know, you look at that number, that 27 and the 30, and a lot of times you get into that the sportsmanship rule, so you start letting some other guys get in, people score points. But in this case, Harrison and Morrilton, that came down to the end, and all the starters were playing. So those are true numbers that were in the postseason.
So what we're saying is we're expecting a track meet today.
Yes.
Eric Sullivan's got his running shoes on. He's down on the sidelines.
I'm ready, Scott. RJ, I'm ready. Yeah, going to be a lot of fun. We know what these two teams are capable of. I'm so thankful they got this day to play on, this Sunday with great weather, because their offenses are so much to watch. And, guys, let's give a shout-out. We'll try to get it throughout the broadcast. A lot of PA students, hey, it's Sunday, they had the day off, are here. They're loud just across this way. Of course, Little Rock Christian, we've already heard the Boo Birds quite a bit. Anytime PA does something, these two are starting to really, really not like each other on the football field and as rivals, which is a fun rivalry. And RJ and Scott, something I've lost track of. All three games here in the first start of the state finals are rematch games. Yeah. How about that? So obviously Greenwood, didn't happen to them. North Little Rock, it did happen to them, as we saw Bryant pull off a stunner last night and played an outstanding football game. And I guess the question now is, can Little Rock Christian pull off a stunner today against the back-to-back state champions so far? Did I get enough backs in there, RJ?
I think you got the nod.
All right, there we go. There we go.
Well, I think this is worth pointing out, the crosstown rival nature. I meant to look this up, and I didn't. But 5-6 miles between these two campuses?
5.2 miles.
You did look it up.
Yes.
5.2.
5.2 separates the two campuses. And when you look at it, I mean, this is a rivalry that over the last few years has developed in that Little Rock Christian, since about 2007, has gotten better. Now, they had a couple down years, and Pulaski Academy kept going. But, when you're that close, and, everybody always says, well, it's the private school rivalry. Well, be it as it may, these two teams are rich in tradition over the last 10 years, and rightfully so that they've got a rivalry built. And it's only fitting that this year both these teams meet right here at War Memorial Stadium. And you think about, for Little Rock Christian, this is a team last year that went 9-2. They lost in the first round of the playoffs to win 56-42. The team that is here at War Memorial Stadium this year is nowhere even remotely close to the team that it was last year. Now, Pulaski Academy, they went 14-0 last year, won the 5A state title over Little Rock McClellan. They're still doing the Kevin Kelly thing. They don't punt. They kick the onside kick. They are still the same machine that they've been, but you got to really look at this Christian team and say, hey, you know what? they've gotten better. This is not the same team as last year. Coach Koyu's kind of really instilled his values into this team, and I would say this will probably be a different game than what we saw earlier in the year between these two teams.
Well, when you talk to him, Eric Koyu, his career record 21-3. That's a good record, but he said bowing out in the first round of the playoffs last year really was used as a motivational tool going into this season. And I think they've got a lot of confidence in this game because they've got their quarterback playing in this contest against PA, and they did not the last time these two teams met.
And look, it's nothing against the backup for Little Rock Christian, because all these kids are good, but Justice Hill is at a different level. I mean, it's, Chris Swell up at Morrilton, he's at a different level than all the rest of the quarterbacks on staff. And, when you've got a playmaker like that, Pulaski Academy would be a different team if they didn't have Hudson Henry as the tight end there. And so when you don't have your best player on the field, and you go up against a team like Pulaski Academy, it's going to hurt you. And so I know they're excited to get the rematch, to be able to have it right here at War Memorial Stadium. But I know Kevin Kelly team is going to have his team prepared to face whatever they throw at them with Justice Hill.
Well, the Bruins walking out onto the field, a little bit of a different team entrance than you're used to seeing, at least so far in these state championship games, as they file out single file. And the captains will walk to midfield, and we are about set for the coin toss as the pregame clock goes under 4 minutes. So we're getting close to kickoff. Little Rock Christian, the team in the white uniforms there, and Pulaski Academy in the all navies. They'll wear the gold helmets. And when the official's mic is on, we will yield to him for the coin toss.
Captains for the Bruins wearing the leading uniform number 84, Hudson Henry, and the 71 Western Coleman, and the 34 Blake Thomas, and number 5 Brady Hunt. The Little Christian, number 9 is Ron Spark, number 31 M.J. Walden, and the 33 Lance McElmurray. Also number 71 on the Warriors, Jared Sampson.
Pulaski Academy has won the toss and elected to receive.
Well, Pulaski Academy will be on offense first in this 5A state championship game, and that's the first time, if memory serves, that the team that won the coin toss did not defer to the second half.
And so far this weekend it is, and a Kevin Kelly team, what they're wanting to do now is there's been so much talk about Justice Hill and what he brings to the table. They want to set the tone early in this game. They want to be able to come out and show their offense early and often in this game, and plus very rarely does Kevin Kelly not want the ball first. You don't see very often him defer and not want the football first, and we'll see how it turns out for him.
Both teams back behind their banners now. Looks like Christian's ripped a little bit early.
So that's when you're a player, you say, okay, boys, let's just roll.
Yeah.
Let's just roll through this thing right now.
I don't think Eric Sullivan was to blame for that, were you?
Spots they run out of. It was not an easy job yesterday keeping those things tied down. And I tell you what, Scott and RJ, how big is this kickoff right here? PA, of course, will likely score, and then here comes the first onside kick. Little Rock Christian needs to bear down quickly here on defense.
Yeah, you're setting up for a track meet when you're already calling the first possession a touchdown, right? But that's a great point, because really the offenses cannot afford to have a possession where they don't get points.
Yeah, no, you're exactly right. As Pulaski Academy comes onto the field, and that's what they think score every time, and they don't think field goal. They think touchdown every single time. And Scott, as we start this game, I'm looking at the National Weather Service, and we're going to have about a 10 to 15 mile an hour wind out of the west-northwest. And if you look out onto the scoreboards right now, you can see those flags are set at, and they're pointed right at UAMS here at the stadium.
Yeah, right at 61 degrees too, guys. So really, really nice weather. I think, Scott, doing the games yesterday, it's not near as swirly wind as we had in the games yesterday afternoon and, of course, last night. But still, it's a factor. Not so much for PA because they're going to onside kick it every time.
Yeah, it'll be a little bit cooler than it was yesterday. The wind has shifted. It was out of the south yesterday in a warm game with Greenwood and Benton. But it's more like football weather today, but still very pleasant. Sunny, no chance of rain. Mason Cobb and Dylan Allison are going to drop to the 20-yard line to receive the opening kick of Isaiah Hankins.
Do what?
Little Rock Christian, 12-1 in the season. Pulaski Academy, 12-1 on the season. They're only lost at Bossier City, Louisiana. As RJ mentioned in the pregame show, their last loss to an Arkansas team was in 2013. Christian trying to pull the upset. And the 5A state title game is underway. That may reach the end zone. It is going to reach it. Boy, that was close.
It barely got there. When you look at Mason Kolb, he looked at it and said, are you going to make it? Or are you going to finally have rolled right in there and touch that line?
I've never seen one take that long to get into the end zone for a touchback.
So here comes Braden Bratcher. 6 foot, 185, a junior, 569 passing yards last week. Coach Kelly tells us it was the 9th best offensive performance in the nation. Kelly in the backfield. Now leaves the backfield along with Cobb, and they'll stack receivers. Quick pass setting up the screen to Cobb. And Cobb is pulled down after a short gain.
Well, you look at that, Scott, right there, and you're going to see a lot of dink and dunk with Pulaski Academy. They're going to start early with those tunnel screens and inside slant plays early in the ballgame just to kind of fill out Little Rock Christian, and that's only about a 4-yard pickup, but like I said, it's just a dink and dunk game.
2nd down and 6. The quick pitch to Cobb. Touches it for the second straight play and gets over the 25-yard line, but still stopped well short of the first down. Good pursuit there after only a pickup of 2. Bernard Givens, one of the first men to stop Cobb on the play. Lawson Howard right in there as well for Little Rock Christian.
You know, a lot of people think that Pulaski Academy is all about the pass, and really they are, but right there you see a little shuttle pass to where, you know, you kick it out to Cobb, let him roll right with it and see what he can do.
Big play early in the game, a minute in. It's a 3rd down and 3 play. They'll give it on the ground to Kelly, and Kelly is stopped. Second effort gets closer, but I believe he's going to be turned away shy of the stick. Now, you know they're going to go for it, though.
Yeah, you know, when you've got 4th down and 1, Coach Kelly is not afraid of where he is on the field. I mean, we were doing a game about 2 years ago, and I'll never forget, they were at 4th down and 20, and the ball was at the 35-yard line. He went for it and got it.
Just past a yard, guys. I mean, just past a yard for the first.
Got to break the 30. Jaden Kelly stands next to Bratcher. Bratcher's going to throw. Here comes the pressure. Is he going to run for it? He is, and he will have the first down. Twisted down by Lawson Howard, the strong safety for Little Rock Christian. They'll mark him down at about the 35-yard line, 36. It's a 7-yard pickup.
And Scott, it comes down to analytics for Kevin Kelly. Everybody says, how can you mix analytics into a football game? Well, Kevin Kelly does it. In fact, later this year, he's going to be the guest speaker at MIT to talk about his football analytics.
Hudson Henry is the middle guy on the wide triplet set on the bottom of your screen. It's going to be a carry by Kelly, and Kelly gets a couple. Got the direct snap on that. And the 6'1 junior gets about 3 yards.
RJ, weren't you invited to speak at that as well?
No.
Okay.
They don't allow me at MIT.
Roger Scott.
Yeah.
Roger Scott.
Yeah.
Okay.
Little tempo here by the Bruins on a 2nd down play. Bratcher hit as he throws, but he gets it away to big Hudson Henry, and Henry Gets it out to midfield. He'll have the first down. Tackle made by Lawson Howard again.
Well, we were doing the player comparisons earlier, Scott, and that's what Hudson Henry gives you. He's a big target that can just sit up in the middle of the field, and as Bratcher was going down, he saw Henry sitting right there in the middle of the field and was able to get it to him, and they pick up the first down. Great play by Bratcher and an even better play by Hudson Henry.
Such a smart player to come back to his quarterback like that. Man, that was beautiful.
11-yard pickup. And the sticks move again. Bratcher's going to take off. He gets about halfway to the next sticks, 45-yard line of Little Rock Christian. A very methodical opening drive, a gain of 5. Tackle made by Corey Platt Jr., a linebacker, 6'2", 190, a sophomore.
You know, we were talking about this could be a track meet, and really, Pulaski Academy's been very methodical so far, mixing in the run and the pass.
Bratcher moves the pocket again. That ball thrown low and incomplete. Covering on the play, William Parker Kerfoot. He took it on a hop there. I didn't think he had much chance to make the pick, but he was definitely coming on in front of that passing lane.
Well, at that time, Kerfoot, you know, he's the outside linebacker for Little Rock Christian, and he actually had to go out into coverage as a defensive back to try to cover that 5 wide receiver set for Pulaski Academy.
Bratcher is a good runner. Coach Kelly says he will look to run when he has the opportunity, not just when he has to. This time he swings it out to Cobb, and Cobb's got room inside the 40-yard line, down close to the 35. They'll mark him short a little bit of the 35-yard line, but it'll be enough to move the chains. Kerfoot made the stop after a gain of 10.
Boy, Scott, that is a long throw. They are on that far hash mark, and Bratcher's got to make the throw all the way to the near side numbers to Cobb, and he's able to break it open. That's a really long throw for a quarterback.
Bratcher with the counterplay to Kelly, and Jaden Kelly not fooling anybody.
RJ and Scott, if you get a chance, watch John David White block. I mean, it is something else. He's not the biggest guy in the world, but he just takes out guys when he's running, when he's not receiving the ball.
Grant McElmurray made the stop of the defensive end spot for Little Rock Christian, and it's 2nd down and 8 after the gain of 2. Bratcher, quick strike to Henry again. Henry breaks a tackle, and he's into the red zone.
Well, Scott, that time, if you look back at the replay here, they had 3 receivers on that top side, and Little Rock Christian was a bit confused on who to cover because Henry was potentially going to go outside for the fade route, but he came in on the slant, and Christian didn't know where he was going to go, and that's how he was able to get open on the slant pattern.
19 yards to Henry, and it's 1st and 10. Pressure coming on, but they throw back to Kelly, and Kelly will have easy cruising into the end zone for the first score of the game.
Well, that right there, Scott, is the misdirection play that Kevin Kelly likes to run. He'll have the entire defense flow right, and then he'll stop his quarterback and have Kelly set up on that left side. Look at that convoy right there. They just set up the wall, and he was able to walk into the end zone.
And you have to honor Bratcher's ability to run the football. He moves the pocket, he could throw it, he could run it. You've got to key on him. And Pulaski Academy sets up for the 2-point conversion. Bratcher turns back, man in his face, still gets out of a couple of tackles, and a 2nd and 3rd effort will be just short of the goal line. What an effort by the quarterback, though, Braden Bratcher.
Yeah, you look at Bratcher. Wow. I mean, he's not a very big guy. 5'11", 165 pounds, and he was fighting like he was a 250-pound linebacker right there.
You guys give Grant McElmurray a lot of credit from the Christian defense. He did not give up on the play. He initially hit him first and then just held on for dear life. And, hey, 1 point could be a difference in this game.
7:26 left in the opening quarter. 6-0 PA. We're back in a moment to War Memorial. You're watching the 2018 Centennial Bank State Finals on AETN Sports.
Wow, that is unbelievable.
Curious.
best things about being a community-focused bank like Centennial is that we encourage our employees to volunteer and give back. That's why our bankers are often seen around town involved in activities that have less to do with money matters and more to do with supporting others. From charity events and disaster relief to Chamber of Commerce and civic activities, we enjoy rolling up our sleeves and helping make our community a better place. See for yourself the difference our local commitment can make. More information available at myoneHunterBank.com. Centennial Bank, member FDIC.
12 plays, 80 yards, 4 minutes and 34 seconds for the first strike of the game for the PA Bruins. Seelig to kick off on the onsides kick, and Little Rock Christian does a good job on the coverage.
Here's a fun fact for you, Scott. Pulaski Academy is undefeated if they get at least 2 onside kicks throughout the game. So that's one stat Kevin Kelly gave me. He said if we get 2 onside kicks in a game, we're undefeated.
So here comes Justice Hill. Christian's first possession. Halfway through almost period number 1, and they get to start at midfield, and the ball slips out of Hill's hands, and it's intercepted. It just slipped out of Hill's hands, popped up into the air like a center fielder. It is going to be picked off by Chris Connell, and the Bruins get it right back. So they did the job, RJ, on the onside kick, but on the very first play from scrimmage, turn it over.
I don't think I've ever seen something like that, Scott. Right there, you look at it, and it just was coming out of his hands before he was able to go through with it. You remember in the NFL in the Oakland Raiders game where the open hand policy on a fumble, but that time he had no pressure, and it just came flying right out of his hand.
Alert play, too, by the PA defense. They were all over it, ready to take that one down out of the air. And now they'll start in plus territory, already leading 6-0. Bratcher, again, that little shovel pass to Cobb. Cobb shuffles his way through and then lays a lick as he eyes that first down marker. Lawson Howard finally brought him down, but it's a gain of 10, and it's going to move the sticks.
I think Cobb doesn't get enough credit with this offense. Everybody talks about Hudson Henry and Bratcher and everybody else, but Cobb he's a real weapon for this Pulaski Academy offense.
Well, he's already got about a half dozen touches. They are definitely going to him, and now Bratcher with another screen, and Cobb's going to throw it. And wide open is Kelly, but he overthrew him.
It was there too, Scott. I mean, it was set up beautifully.
Well, he put a lot of air under it, but it still couldn't be run under.
But once again, watch the replay right here. He's on that far side. That's a long throw from where he's at. He's throwing from the 40 all the way across the field back to the 5-yard line. That's a long throw.
How critical, guys, for Christian right now. You got to overcome the turnover and stop this offense. This thing could get out of hand early. We know what PA's capable of.
Bratcher works out of an empty set, and he's going to run it on the draw. Finds some room on the right side, but that's good pursuit. Drake Bradley and Lawson Howard there to make a stop after a gain of 3.
And that time, you see all these 5-wide sets for Pulaski Academy, and that time they bunched 3 receivers to the near side and really went heavy on the offensive line, and it allowed for Bratcher to try to find a hole.
Bratcher looking down the sidelines. He's got Cobb again. Cobb makes a man miss, and he's inside the 10-yard line. He got out of the grasp of Bernard Givens, and Lawson Howard, who's already racking up a ton of tackles, makes another stop after a gain of 23.
Cobb came to play, didn't he, boys? He is having a major impact on this game. Great job of coming back to that one. It was thrown behind him right there.
And they are also breaking tackles, too, guys. Little Rock Christian's got to wrap up in the open field a little better.
Look at that stat right there. Total yards for Pulaski Academy in 2 possessions. They've already had 93 yards of total offense.
It's going to be a keeper again by Bratcher. And Bratcher is met right about the 5-yard line by Jack Mabry. 6'4" senior. He's a team captain. Stops him after a gain of 4.
I'm just kind of shocked by how much Pulaski Academy's running the football. I mean, really, because I've done a lot of PA games and Christian games, and it's been no doubt that we've done some 4-hour games because all they do is throw the football.
They're setting something up, RJ. There's no doubt about it. I bet they had with the extra days of practice, to script a lot of stuff this week.
First and goal from inside the 5. Bratcher moves the pocket again. looks back of the end zone. He had a man, but it was deflected and batted away. A good defensive play by Alex Beasy, or that would have been another 6.
Yeah, and Beasy did a great job. Was it Beasy or was it Bernard Givens that was able to?
Givens, guys.
Yeah,
it was Givens. Yeah.
Givens was back there, and he just kind of got his paw in the fingertips, knocked the ball away. And I tell you what, Givens is he's a big player. When you look at him, he's 5'11", 165, but he looks and plays a lot bigger than that.
3rd down and goal. Bratcher with time again, and he makes a nice pass. It is caught for the Pulaski Academy touchdown by John David White. 4 yards on the play.
John David White has a preferred walk-on offer from the University of Arkansas as well as Arkansas State. Just a dominant player at the wide receiver position, and this time on the crossing route just got separation right there from Lawson Howard and was able to walk into the end zone. But look at that throw by Bratcher. You know exactly where your wide receiver is going to be able to put that ball right there, and was able to get the touchdown.
We got a pre-snap flag down. It's probably going to be a false start on Pulaski Academy prior to their 2-point conversion.
Prior to the snap, false start, offense, 5-yard penalty, drive for point.
27th touchdown for John David White, guys. I mean, that's incredible.
Yeah, that's a big number, especially when you have as many wide receivers that are getting action.
I'm actually kind of shocked that he's only got preferred walk-on offers from those Division I schools. I know now he's got some scholarship offers from like Washita Baptist, but he's a heck of a football player.
Bratcher's going to throw for the 2-pointer. All day, Christian dropped everybody in coverage, and now Bratcher's going to take off, and he makes the 2-point conversion. Well, that's the challenge. You had 3 rushers for Little Rock Christian. Couldn't get any pressure on the quarterback. Everybody dropped back in the end zone for coverage, and that allowed Bratcher to run it in.
And I guess not enough credit can be given to that offensive line. We've talked so much about all the skill guys for Pulaski Academy, but that time, the amount of time that Bratcher had just to sit there and look, go left, go right, come back, and it had to be at least 6 seconds that he just sat there. And you know your quarterback's feeling confident when he's almost flat-footed trying to throw the football, and finally just takes off and runs with it.
And RJ, you talk about how you've been through so many PA games with the Buzz. How about all 5 receivers never gave up on that play? They were working with him, and that's just great teamwork, guys.
Yeah, that's one thing that you'll always see is the communication with your quarterback and with your wide receivers. At both Christian and Pulaski Academy, they both do really well.
Support the programs you love on AETN. Become a member at aetn.org. PA kicking off again after that turnover at midfield. A 7-play, 44-yard drive, taking 1:37 off the clock. Savannah Goodwin is going to kick off this time. She puts forth the onside kick, and it's loose.
Well, I think it was touched by Pulaski Academy.
Yeah, because they gave up on it. I was wondering why Christian, a few players were standing around. Yeah, I believe it got touched before it went 10.
Yeah, I believe Caleb Nichols was the one that it touched, and so once he touched, he said, "Okay, I'm done."
Little Rock Christian did a good job on the last onside kick too, but they've run one play, and it was an interception, and we're already at the 5:43 mark in the first quarter.
I know if you're Justice Hill, you've had one offensive possession, so he wants to show what his guys can do, and it was just a fluke with that pass on that last drive they had.
Hill moves the pocket as well, and he is a threat to run. He fires sidelines, and that's out of bounds, intended for Alex Clark.
Just let him a bit too far. Justice had a little bit of time that he could have set his feet to throw, but he was rolling right and just threw on the run and led his wide receiver a bit far out of bounds.
Hey, guys, Eric Koyu just stomping up and down the sidelines here, telling his guys to stay in the game. Down 14-0, but don't lose track of the game plan.
Kendall Givens, a junior running back in the backfield with Hill on 2nd down and 10. He's going to give it on the end around. This is Chris Hightower. And Hightower is stopped. A good open field tackle that time by Pulaski Academy after a 2-yard gain. Blake Titus coming up from his safety position to stop him after a short gain.
Well, Hightower's their leading wide receiver this year for the Warriors. 54 receptions, 944 yards, and 10 touchdowns. He's been a heck of a player for him.
3rd down and 8. Hill has time, puts a lot of air on the deep ball, and he's got his man. It's a touchdown, Little Rock Christian. Michael Loggins, 45 yards.
Well, Loggins has got some speed, doesn't he? And that time, he just outran the defender. He had about 3 yards of space on him, and Justice Hill, you see his arm right there, and he was able to outrun the defender, and you see him fall down right there, but I still, even if he stays up, he doesn't have a shot at him, and Loggins just walks into the end zone.
That's a great counter, guys. You are kind of in shock being down 14-0. Your first pass was a fluky interception. Way to stay in the moment, Justice Hill, and get your team back on the board.
Isaiah Hankins puts the point after try through the uprights, and Little Rock Christian needed that in a big way. And it was a 3rd and long play. The deep ball from Justice Hill splits that 14-point lead in half.
Well, Scott, 3 plays, 47 yards in 47 seconds, and that's, if you're Little Rock Christian, that's what you need. You need something like that to kind of re-energize the offense after that first drive. And total numbers right now, Pulaski Academy is 124 total offense, and Little Rock Christian has 47 yards of total offense, but that's a much different sideline over there right now than what it was about 5 minutes ago.
You guys take a guess who the most fired up Little Rock Christian fan in the stand is right now.
I'm going to go with Fitz Hill.
Bingo. You guys have done your homework. I'm proud of you.
Hey, see what makes Arkansas schools great. Check out spirit videos from schools around the state at aetn.org/sports. Allison and Cobb are back deep again for PA on the Hawkins kickoff. Well, it's a good-looking kickoff. They're set up at the 20. They're going to need to move back if they want to return a kickoff.
Yeah, well, he keeps kicking it in the middle of the end zone like that. He's not going to have to worry about taking any kickoffs today. Boy, Scott, you look at it, 4:56 here in the first quarter, and really the first quarter's kind of moved by pretty quickly. As usually by this point, both teams have had 3 offensive possessions because they've just been airing it out.
So far, according to script, right?
Yeah.
RJ, you're right. A different tone on this sideline right now. I mean, they had their heads hanging a little bit right there, but there's going to be so many big plays, guys. We all know that in this game. You got to stay focused.
Well, they'll have to get at least one defensive stop today. Bratcher on the keeper. Makes one man miss and gets about 5. The ball does pop loose, and Christian's got it.
Scott, you know, you look at the turnover game for this state championship, and you talk to both coaches and say what's going to be a key, and it's whoever can control the turnovers. Now both teams have 1 turnover apiece. It looks like for Little Rock Christian, it was Drake Bradley who knocked that ball loose. Not sure who got the recovery, but
well, Bradley got it too. He I don't think it was a fumble as much as he just ripped it loose and took it away. And now Christian's got the ball at the 24 of PA, a chance to tie the game. And Hill's going to take off. This is where he's so dangerous. He's got the first down. And Hill has the goal line just shy of the pylon. I thought he had it. I thought he had the touchdown, but he's out of bounds just shy. And I mean just shy. Look at the official's foot. A 23-yard quarterback keeper.
Scott, I was with you. The official came in, and he first brought his arms up like a touchdown, started waving to stop the clock. But, boy, what a run by Justice Hill right there.
Good call, too, guys. I mean, Justice just barely missed. It's about 4 inches away from a touchdown.
It'll be Givens on 1st and goal, and Givens is untouched. The big 5'8", 220 junior scores a Little Rock Christian touchdown.
This is starting to become the game that we thought it was, Scott. Now, you know, you get the turnover now, and now you're an extra point away from a tie ball game here in the first quarter.
Turnovers can turn a game. Hankins on for the extra point, and that one is good. Isaiah Hankins 2 for 2 on point after tries. And we are tied up at 14 all.
Guys, I did not major in math. I will let you know that out the getaway, but I think Christian may have him on the fan count, on the crowd. I think they got him.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the crowd, and there are a ton of Little Rock Warrior fans, Little Rock Christian Academy Warrior fans on that far side. And Pulaski Academy. They've got a great deal of fans on this side as well. It's always fun, the state championship where you can have fans come out. And a lot of times for these state championships, Scott, you get people that don't really have no affiliation with the school. They just want to see the matchup.
Especially this matchup.
Yeah.
Hey, how about the 2 scoring drives for Little Rock Christian? 2 plays, 24 yards, 12 seconds right there. The prior one, 3 plays, 47 yards in 47 seconds. 2 touchdown drives in less than a minute. And the kickoff sails into the end zone again.
That one went past the uprights.
Past the end zone.
that one landed behind the uprights.
PA is just saying you can kick it as far as you want. We're not even messing with it. That's what they're doing today.
And you know, PA on punt returns, they don't return the punts. So, I mean, not returning a kickoff is no big deal for them. They'll start the ball at the 20 and just go with it.
Game, don't we?
It's like a center fielder when the guy hits the home run into the upper deck. They don't even move. 1st and 10 at the 20. Kelly is in the backfield with Bratcher. It's going to be Kelly on the give, and Kelly has a big hole. What a move to get out in front to midfield and just shy of the 45 of Little Rock Christian.
Back and forth, the pendulum swings, Scott. That was a big run by Kelly as he was able to get it out into Little Rock Christian Warrior territory. And really, it was just nothing fancy. You go back, you cut it back right side off the guard and the tackle, and you got the big run.
Felix Jones-like, guys, on that cutback.
Azarius Woods now the ball carrier for Pulaski Academy. And he gets inside the 40-yard line and turned away there after a good first down gain. The last one, a 34-yard run. McElmurray made the stop. That's a 5-yard carry for Woods. Here's the 34-yarder by Kelly.
I mean, that's just a great job right there, just battling. He's got 2 guys hanging on him and finally is taken down. That's a great run by Kelly.
The fake to Woods, and here goes Bratcher. The first down and more, and he's almost down to the 20-yard line.
You know, and there's been so much talk about Justice Hill and what he does as a dual-threat quarterback, and I think everybody thinks that Bratcher's just one of those guys that can sling it around. He's thrown for 4,300 yards, but he's also a dual-threat guy that can run.
593-yard rushing coming into this game in 13 contests. Kelly's back in now at running back. Bratcher has time and finds the running back, Kelly. And he's pushed out of bounds at about the 17-yard line by Lawson Corkin.
Hudson Henry was there, guys. The play was just Bratcher just missed him, and he might have had a 6-pointer right there. Just missed him.
I'll tell you guys, you have to have your head on a swivel to play in this game. You have to have your head on a swivel to broadcast this game, too.
Deep breaths, guys. Deep breaths.
This is up and down. Nice counter play, but it is not fooling Little Rock Christian. Hudson Henry, the ball carrier, but Jackson Woodard, a 6'2 junior, there to meet him for no gain.
That's one of those plays where Henry starts on the outside and they work it back in. It's a shuttle pass inside. And if you're Little Rock Christian, you've seen that play before. And they had it set up perfectly where Woodard was right there to make the tackle.
PA is 3 out of 4 on third downs. This is a 3rd and 5. Here comes the blitz, but they beat it with a pass complete to J.D. White, and White is into the end zone for another Pulaski Academy touchdown.
John David White doing it again right there on the crossing pattern, and really he does such a good job getting across the face of the defensive players to be able to walk into the end zone. And look how quick he is right here. You see the blitzing linebacker, he just gets right across the face and is able to walk in the end zone. Nobody touches him along the way.
Is there a better route runner than that young man, RJ? I mean, my goodness, that was really, really good.
Yeah, that was a good run.
Bratcher's going to run for the 2-point conversion. Turns it upfield, and he's short of the goal line.
You wonder if in a game like this, Scott, if not kicking field goals is going to hurt Pulaski Academy, because, you know, you don't get the extra 1 point right there, and we've already seen the type of kicker that Little Rock Christian has. You wonder if in a game like this that could come back to bite Pulaski Academy.
I don't think they're going to change, RJ.
No, I mean, that's the way they do things. Right. And I'm not saying that they should. It's just when you see a back-and-forth game like this one is, you often wonder, Boy, what would have been had you gotten that extra point?
But I think that makes Coach Kelly who he is. I don't think he ever looks back. It's his style, his system, and, it's worked, guys. I mean, the winning has been there. But I'm with you, RJ. Points are points. They're valuable in this kind of game.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, you know how the first quarter was really kind of moving right along there for a little bit.
Yeah.
I think ever since I said that, it's now slowed to a snail's pace. That's
right.
We've got 2:52 to play here in the first quarter of play.
The question, Scott and RJ, will these two outscore the other two state championship games in the first half by themselves?
Yeah, that's a good point. Might happen. So the third kickoff for PA, and it's the third kicker that we've seen. It's going to be James. Clay James to kick it away. I say kick it away. Kick it on the ground is what he's going to. That's what he's going to do.
And Pulaski Academy's got about 10 different onside kick formations that they can do, and it's all about how the ball is set up on the tee.
Well, the hands team does the job there. Alex Clark leaves no doubt.
That's 2 for him, Scott Inman. He's their guy to go get that ball. He's done that twice already for him.
Well, in the pregame, Eric, right before the game, you were standing, or they were working on onside kicks right behind you in the pregame, and you don't see that very often, Scott, where a team is actually practicing in the pregame how to field an onside kick.
For about 30 minutes, too, guys. It wasn't just a couple of them.
It looked like they were fielding grounders out there. Baseball practice. Kendall Givens is the back, along with Justice Hill, and Hill with the handoff to Givens, and Givens off the right side. He's going to get positive yardage and pushes the pack forward. It's a pickup of about 4. Matthew Hugg with the stop for PA.
Boy, when you look at that Little Rock Christian offensive line, they are some big dudes down there. They like the buffet over Golden Corral.
There's not a lot of depth on that line, though. These guys are going to go most of the way. Hill with a deep drop. Now he's looking for room to run. Couldn't find it in the middle. Finds it towards the edge, and he's going to be close to first down yardage. Should have it.
Boy, he's so quick. Justice Hill, I mean, he goes from first to second gear, and it's just a totally different speed, and he's on a different platform when he starts to run.
Fuda Shinkawa ran him out of bounds at the 40-yard line.
Say that 3 times fast.
I practiced.
Hey, that kid's an animal, man. He will go get you. I watched him a couple weeks ago. Love the fight in that kid.
Hill, pressured, gets a nice block by his running back, and he throws for the first down. There is a flag down. Alex Clark makes the catch and has the first down. They may get a block in the back here, I guess.
I think they're going to call a blindside hit.
Illegal blindside block against the offense.
Yeah.
50-yard penalty.
Yeah, they're going to call a personal. That's one of those new National Federation rules that they've come up with over the last few years, that it's almost the blindside hit that is illegal in high school football. And what they're showing right here is that the Pulaski Academy player never was able to get his head and see the hit coming, and so they're going to call that penalty. And we had one of those hits last night in the Bryant game, in the 7A championship game. And Coach Cody's not happy about it, and I don't blame him whatsoever. But
just can't go high, RJ. You just can't go high.
It's a rule.
Christian stacking trips to the right. Hill's under pressure, and he's going to go down back inside the 30-yard line. Clinton Wilson gets the sack. It's a loss of 9, compounded with that 15-yard penalty.
Boy, when you look at him come in like that, he was untouched coming in and was able to get right to Justice Hill, and that's what you got to do when you're going up against Justice Hill. You got to come in and wrap up, because if you try to one-arm it, he's going to get out of that.
It is second down and almost 30. And the officials are calling time. The yard marker was still on first down. I don't know if that's why they stopped it. I'm sorry, I said 30. It's 40. Yeah. Second down and 40.
Let's say
our Eric's math's not good. Neither is mine.
I'm just wondering what you call here.
Well, it's a Hill run. And Hill making some nifty moves. Will get about 8, stopped by Blake Titus off his safety position.
They got to get all the way back to the Pulaski Academy 30-yard line. They're in their own territory, and they got to cross over the timeline and get all the way to the 30.
Now we know Pulaski Academy doesn't punt. Little Rock Christian will, but wonder if that philosophy is different in a game like this. Probably not if they don't get any yards here. 3rd down and 31. Hill immediately thinks about running. Look at him weaving his way. Now he's just going to throw it out of bounds.
Smart move right there. I mean, you've got 31 yards to make up, and it's really hard when you're running away with the ball on the opposite side of your body. It's really hard to make that throw, and just live for another day, and they'll punt it away and try to hold Pulaski Academy now.
Turnovers even at 1 apiece.
Well, Kevin Kelly, guys, showed his 4.4 speed chasing down the ref on that. I think he was hoping to sneak an intentional grounding out of that.
Jack Mabry is the Christian punter. And PA sends nobody deep. And it gets a good roll. Good punt from Mabry. And it will be down at the 6-yard line.
Scott, I know that's what they do, but I don't understand why you don't put somebody there and just say, hey, fair catch it. Don't try to advance it, just fair catch it and catch the football. And I know Kevin Kelly's philosophy is that even if you have somebody that can sit there and take it and he fumbles it off the catch, then that's a liability. But to me, it seems like the analytics, since that's what we're talking about, would work more in favor of Pulaski Academy than taking it from the 6-yard line.
You know who likes that philosophy, though, is Jack Mabry. That's a 55-yard punt.
Oh, yeah.
That'll work for him.
College scouts love seeing that.
Yeah.
I sense RJ disagreeing with Coach Kelly a lot on his philosophy today.
We've done that once or twice.
Bratcher to throw into the sun, and he had an open Hudson Henry, but it was just out of his reach. Text AET in Sports to 313131 for updates.
Well, Hudson Henry guy on the field, his size is just impressive. My goodness. He almost knocked me over on that one.
6'5", 230. Headed to Arkansas next year. Here's Bratcher in trouble in the backfield, and there's an ankle tackle. And a good one by Little Rock Christian. Jackson Woodard stops him after a gain of 1.
Well, Scott, this is what Little Rock Christian needs right now. They need to be able to get Pulaski Academy into a 4th down and stop them, and then you're set up perfect. I mean, you're in the red zone essentially.
PA is 4 out of 5 on 3rd down.
That's going to do it for the quarter.
We will have to wait and see what they do on this 3rd down play until the 2nd quarter begins. That's the end of 1. Pulaski Academy leads by 6 in the 5A state championship game. It's a good one, and it's a wild one, and it continues after this. You're watching the 2018 Centennial Bank High School State Finals on AETN Sports.
The Everett difference is much more than just vehicle sales and service. It's also our commitment to helping those who help others, like those who work to build communities, those who help to enrich the lives of children, those who provide a loving home to kids in need, and those who lend a helping hand when you need it. It's a privilege to work with these wonderful organizations, and we're grateful for everything they do. That's the Everett difference. Everett Buick GMC.
Broadcast of this championship game is made possible by
Law Offices of Gary Green, a people's practice, representing people with serious injuries in areas of personal injury, nursing home negligence, and product liability. We are proud to be underwriters of AETN.
You'll find us at the end of a lot of long country roads, covering over 60% of the great state of Arkansas to provide reliable power to over 500,000 homes, farms, and businesses. The Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas, your local energy partners.
The Bruins, as we begin play in the 2nd quarter, have only failed to convert a 3rd down once in 5 tries so far in this game. This is a big moment for the Little Rock Christian defense. Down 6 as we start the 2nd set of 12. Bratcher That ball is tipped, and it will fall incomplete. Corey Pratt Jr., a diving attempt at an interception, but he couldn't scoop it up.
Let's see who got a hand on it right there. Somebody on the defensive line.
Is it Bradley again?
I think so. As we'll look at the replay right here, and look at that big number 7 getting his paw up there and getting it done. Boy, that's a great job, because now you've forced Pulaski Academy into a 4th down, and we know they don't punt. So if they don't get this, then Little Rock Christian's got great field position.
Second 4th down attempt of the game. They converted the last one. Bratcher buys time with his feet, but he throws into the hands of a defender. Did he pick it off? He did.
Got a penalty down, Scott.
There is a flag down. Bernard Givens Jr. makes the interception. The flag is down near the line of scrimmage.
I think it's probably going to be a hold on Pulaski Academy. I can't imagine it's going to go against Little Rock Christian, because the penalty was thrown as Bratcher was rolling out that far side. And usually you'll get a hold in that area.
It's possible that he crossed the line of scrimmage before he threw the football.
And it looks like there may be an injured Pulaski Academy player on that far sideline as well.
Is that the quarterback? Is it Bratcher?
It looks like it may be.
Well, he got hit as he threw.
Guys, I think it's Bratcher. It is Bratcher.
Yeah. Braden Bratcher still on his back on the sidelines. We still haven't gotten clarification on the penalty.
Well, that is not. You hate to see, especially. I know he's your star quarterback, but any player that is just laying there and he's moving his arms a little bit. Boy, here comes Kevin Kelly right now over to check on his player, and that's over on the Little Rock Christian sideline. And boy, you hate to see that. Let's take a look at the replay right here where.
Check out the line of scrimmage, too, because we're trying to sort out this penalty as well.
I think he crossed, Scott. He looked like about 3 yards past the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, he did. But, boy, there was a hit. And you take a look at it, and he was right near the boundary. And it was a legal hit. Yeah. Oh, that's where it took him right there. You had the chain gang that was backing away, and it hit him on the back of the head. Maybe we can show that one more time, but it hit him right there on the back of the head with the chain crew that was trying to get out of the way. And a lot of times, there's so many people over there. Watch right here as we can slow it down. You'll see right there the guy with the white bib on, and he just takes it right off the back of the head. Whoa.
All right, he's up, Scott. Barely.
That is a tough hit right there of somebody on the sidelines.
Well, they're going to continue to look at Bratcher. We're going to step aside and take a break. You're watching the 2018 Centennial Bank High School State Finals on AETN Sports.
So the last time you saw Mary Frances was
about 75 years ago.
It's wonderful to see you.
You've got to struggle out there to live, but all you have to do to die is just give up.
Long days, too many short nights, wrong ways, almost felt right.
It was such a deep wound.
I would never want to see any history erased.
Keep on, keeping on.
These are your people.
No. Wow. Need a Kleenex. Really?
To the dreamers, wide believers, hanging on the hope by a thread.
You changed my life.
To the soulful, heart open, hopeful, keep on charging ahead. 'Cause when you feel it and you believe it, it's unforgettable. When you know it and you hold it, it's unforgettable.
To the goal, Little Rock Christian's ball, first down.
Well, it's good to see Bratcher walked off the field under his own power, and he's on the sidelines now. It'll be Little Rock Christian's ball, and they get it at the 5-yard line. That penalty was indeed for crossing the line of scrimmage before throwing the pass. And now a great opportunity for Little Rock Christian to take their first lead. Here's Loggins. And Loggins gets nothing. In fact, he's going to lose yardage.
Well, a great pursuit right there by Trent Sawyer for Pulaski Academy. That's a long run for Loggins on that near side. And, boy, you look at Sawyer, just the speed to close in. Great angle, and was able to come in and make the tackle.
Second and goal from the 8. Would not be surprised if Hill calls his own number here. Givens back in as his running back. And the pitch goes to him. Givens runs out of real estate. We got back to the line of scrimmage, and that's about it. Dylan Allison with a nice defensive play to stop him for no gain. Well, Christian could take the lead with a touchdown and an extra point here. It's going to be interesting if they don't get it on this play, what the decision will be.
All right, Scott, good news. Braden Bratcher is going to get his helmet back on, try to move around a little bit as he's talking to the doctor still.
That is good news. Thank you, Eric, for the update. Third and goal. Hill looking to throw. Now he's going to run. Boy, what a move by Justice Hill. He goes to the pylon and scores the touchdown.
Oh, my goodness. He jukes right, comes back left, and walks into the end zone. I think that's what they say in basketball, where he's going to be playing as a basketball player. He shook him out of his shoes. I think that's what they say over there in the basketball court.
That was a crossover is what that was. On his way to the hoop. Look at that. Wow. And that draws a response as the replay is shown on the monitor from all of the fans here at War Memorial Stadium.
Allen Iverson worthy there, Scott.
Hankins to give Christian their first lead. And he does. 21-20. The Warriors on top for the first time in this 5A state championship game. Back in a moment to the stadium. You're watching the 2018 Centennial Bank High School State Finals on AETN Sports. You know, RJ, if they trade.
Why choose local? Because local companies stay rooted in their communities. They support other local businesses and provide jobs for your friends and neighbors. At Fidelity Communications, we take great pride in being a local company that's dedicated to the communities we serve. Jobs and opportunities for the people you love. That's why you choose local. Fidelity Communications. We're here, we're local. Be connected with Fidelity, your local internet, TV, and home phone provider.
This month in Passport, your on-demand library of the best of PBS.
I'm to be the husband's wife. She knows something about the passport. He has a secret.
We are living in an extraordinary era of science. This is the amazing human body.
These and other shows are available with Passport. Become a member of this PBS station. Sign in and start streaming today.
Touchdown drives of 47 seconds, 12 seconds, and 56 seconds for Little Rock Christian to take a 21-20 lead in this 5A state championship game. Hankins to kick off. And it'll be another touchback.
Getting a lot of people on social media that are saying that the Razorbacks and other colleges around the state need Hankins as their kicker. A lot of response on Twitter right now for Hankins and the way he's kicking the football.
And it's about the touchbacks, not the point afters. I'll guarantee you that.
Exactly. By the way, if you want to send in a message to the booth, you can do it at RJ Hawk. And some coaches from around the state. Scott, watching this game today, Adam DePriest, the offensive coordinator over at Shiloh Christian, he sent in a message. So glad to have you guys along today.
Bratcher is back into the game at quarterback for Pulaski Academy. And the give is to Kelly. Kelly with nowhere to go. Maybe got a yard. Corey Platt Jr. making the stop for Little Rock Christian. Had another good kicker in the Greenwood game as well.
There's been a lot of good kickers in the game. I mean, or at least in the state finals this weekend.
2nd and 9. Fake to Kelly. Bratcher in trouble again. He throws it away. Just got it away, and now the sideline for Little Rock Christian is looking for the grounding. Bradley there with the pressure, and he had a hold of his jersey, making sure Bratcher did not escape.
Scott, I think Hudson Henry was in the area, but I don't know if they would count. That's not Hudson, but that is actually Merritt Jones that was in the area. I think that's who they were saying was in the area, and that's why there was no grounding.
Bruins 4 out of 6 on 3rd down. Bratcher with his line moving upfield is going to run the football. Spins off 2 tackles. Won't be able to escape a 3rd. And it's going to be another 4th down for Pulaski Academy. That's a 2-yard gain.
Hey, Scott, I've been told that Bratcher hit the back of his head pretty hard, the helmet area, the very back of the helmet. That's what kind of stunned him for a little bit. But as you guys can see, he's moving around very well, and a great sign for PA.
There's a flag down on the near sidelines away from the action. And the offensive lineman got upfield.
Against Pulaski Academy. That is their first sideline warning of the game. 4th down.
So it's a sideline warning. So it's going to be 4th down and about 7. PA 1 out of 2 on 4th down attempts. Bratcher threw a pick on the last. Lots of time in the pocket. Now he's going to be flushed out and run for the 1st down and have lots of room to do it. Slides down shy of the 40-yard line. Boy, you could see Bratcher look for that to see it open up. And there wasn't anybody to bring him down within 10 yards of him. 16-yard pickup.
And that offensive line did a great job. Look at them right there. They got 3 guys on 2, and then Bratcher sees they're all rolling to that right side. He comes back left and is able to get a big gain.
Guys, Coach Kelly being as nice as possible to the sideline official about holding his receivers. I'll just leave it at that.
Quick swing pass out to Jones, and Jones will be driven out of bounds after a short gain. Merritt Jones, a 6'3", 200-pound junior, met by Grant McElmurray, a 6'1", 210-pound senior. Hudson Henry's going to be wide to the right. Actually, he's going to be an inside receiver on the right side. Up on the line of scrimmage as Kevin Kelly sends 4 receivers to the right side of the formation, but they'll come back and throw to the left, and it's intercepted again. Great coverage by Michael Loggins, and Loggins just stepped in front of the pass and took it away. The 2nd pick of the game thrown by Bratcher.
Well, Loggins is a two-way player. He plays offense and defense, and that time just stepped in front of the throw right there, and it was a great job by him. Probably not a very good throw by Bratcher. He was trying to get the guy that was coming across on the slant pattern and just picked off, and now that's right now Little Rock Christian now, Scott, is controlling the turnover battle.
2 interceptions on the last 2 drives. Givens is driven back after a short gain as Pulaski Academy was in the backfield, putting the pressure on Givens. A couple of Bruins slow to get up, and one of the linemen there, Philip DeLeo, also limping a little bit. There was a big collision there in the offensive backfield, but everybody's upright. Second down and 9 for Justice Hill and the Warriors. Quick pass out to Loggins, and Loggins can't handle it.
Hey, RJ and Scott, I believe for Little Rock Christian, stay aggressive here. You've got the lead. Don't get, don't act like you're playing not to lose here. It's still very early. I'd love to see him take some more shots down the field.
Well, they definitely succeeded on the one deep ball that Justice Hill threw. Christian has a turnover. PA has, they have the 3 now, the 2 picks, and wasn't there a fumble?
Yes.
Three turnovers for PA. This swing pass works this time to Givens, but he won't be able to get much open field. That's a good open field stop by Clay James, the cornerback for PA. No gain.
Well, and Kendall Givens is not happy with himself, but I don't really understand why he's not happy. I think he wanted to leap the defender right there. That was Clay James, and that's a great play by James. There's not really much that he could have done out there in the flats.
So Jack Mabry, who booted a 55-yarder his last time, and now PA is going to send a man deep back to return. It's Blake Titus. Titus watches it fall in front of him. He's still going to let it go, and again gets a nice roll. inside the 5-yard line, down into 4-yard line, and Mabry's got another nice punt.
Yeah, another great punt right there. And now Pulaski Academy is going to start with inside their own 5-yard line. And with 8:02 remaining here in the second quarter, you got a 1-point game. And I think this is kind of shaping up exactly how we thought it was going to shape up for a first half, Scott.
21-20. 6 touchdowns in about 16 minutes of playing time.
And guys, you think about PA, since that opening drive, hadn't put together a long one, not that they like to do that, but, real crisp, scripted, hitting open mans, running the ball. Like you mentioned, RJ, they did a lot of that in their opening drive.
PA opened this ball game up, the 5A championship game, with a long 4.5-minute drive.
Watch the blitz on the left side, Scott.
Here's Kelly. Kelly with room towards the near sidelines, and he steps out at about the 16-yard line. Michael Loggins there to make sure that he did, but it is a pickup of 8 on the play.
Well, when every time you see Pulaski Academy not put more than one wide receiver on either side, you'll see a blitzing linebacker come after Bratcher.
Bratcher caught in the backfield and dumped by Jackson Woodard.
And we saw it right there. That time, Pulaski Academy only came out with a single wide receiver to each side, and Woodard was coming from that weak side and was able to get Bratcher.
It's a loss of 3, and it's going to bring up a second down and 13. I'll tell you, as much offense as we've seen, there have been some pretty good defensive plays.
Yeah, there really has.
They have got these offenses behind the sticks. That just shows you how good these offenses are. Bratcher with the deep ball. His man's got a step. It's White, but White can't run it down.
Well, that was a big throw, and I think White's hoping that there was a holding penalty on the defender, Michael Loggins, but I mean, they just went hand in hand all the way downfield, and Bratcher just overthrew him.
And guys, Coach Kelly is hot as you will ever see him at the back judge and the sideline official for this holding. They feel like they're doing it on every single play.
Tough to see there on the replay. You didn't see him come into the frame until the ball was almost there. 3rd down and 13 for Pulaski Academy. And Bratcher's going to keep it himself, and he'll be dumped shy of the 20-yard line. Good pursuit that time again by the Little Rock Christian defensive front. Boy, they got in the backfield in a hurry, and Grant McElmurray brought down Bratcher. Now it's time for another 4th down.
Yeah, you got a 4th down, and this is a little bit better than the last 4th down. You've got 8 yards to pick up, and you're going to see Pulaski Academy right here is going to bring out 4 wide receivers to that far side of the field.
The blitz is picked up, but Bratcher can't find anybody. Now throws late, and what a terrific catch made by Mason Cobb at about the 30-yard line. He'll have the 1st down. That was a great grab.
Yeah, it really was, because it was thrown high, and Cobb had to go up there and just make a hands catch. That's essentially what it is, and he went high for it, was able to pull it in as he was getting hit.
It's an 11-yard pickup, and Pulaski Academy converts on 4th down.
Look at that. I mean, that is just great hands.
Bratcher again on the scamper, and he is rolled down out of bounds after a pickup of about 3. Michael Loggins out there with him one-on-one. We'll give him 4, and it'll be 2nd down and 6.
Scott and RJ, I'm listening in to the offensive coaches here on PA side. Scott, you haven't mentioned Hudson's Henry name a lot today at all. They're trying to get him the ball, but RJ, you got to give Christian credit. They are really shadowing him.
Yeah, they've done a good job with that so far. And now they're going to come out with stacked sets on either side.
And they'll throw behind Henry to White, and Henry lays the block, and that springs John David White. He's gone.
Well, Scott, right there, I mean, that's why you've got one of the #1 players in the country in Hudson Henry, because not only can he make a play with the ball in his hands, but he's a great blocker. That time, watch here on the replay, He sets up the block on the outside. He pushes his guy all the way into the boundary and allows for John David White to have an open lane to run to the end zone. Great job by Hudson Henry right there, and a great job by John David White to catch it and run.
That's a 66-yard touchdown pass. Most of it done on the legs of White. And again, as you mentioned, Henry with that big block. And of course, PA will go for 2. Quick strike, complete to Cobb, and Cobb is into the end zone for the 2-point conversion.
Make it look easy, don't they? I mean, a lot of teams run that inside, whether you call it a tunnel screen or a bubble screen or whatever you want to call it, and they just, throw it out there, and he walks into the end zone, has great blocking, and is able to get in there.
Well, and Henry was right in the middle of that again.
And guys, the sense here by the Bruins, they know they are in a dogfight today, so they have amped up their enthusiasm, really focusing on the game because they are very aware of what number 3 on the other side is capable of doing on any given play.
It's great to point out, guys, Henry's blocking, because when you talk about fans who may be casually watching this game today and they know that Henry's a commit to Arkansas and they're looking for those stats, they're looking for the catches, the highlight reel plays. That's what makes him the number 1 tight end in the country. Coaches are looking at that. They want a guy who can block as well and do everything well, and Henry showed he can do that.
And it wasn't so much that he was just blocking and had his body on, went body on body. He drove his man out of bounds. I mean, just cleared a lane open for John David White to run and just did a great job right there.
For White, that was his touchdown. He came into this game with 26 touchdowns.
And he's got 3 so far in this game.
Yes, he's good. He's closing in on 30. Seelig puts the onside kick on the turf, and it is going to be recovered by Matthew Ware. So Little Rock Christian continues to win the turnover battle. That was something that Eric Koyu told RJ in the pregame show that was necessary for them to do. It was focused on the onside kick role, that they don't need to have any giveaways. But today they have a couple of takeaways, 3 in fact, 2 picks and a fumble recovery. But they're still down by a touchdown. A lot of time left here in the second quarter. Justice Hill goes back to work. And the give is to Loggins. Loggins going to have trouble getting back to the line of scrimmage, and he worked hard to do that, to turn that negative play into positive yardage. Dylan Allison with the stop. It's a gain of 1.
RJ, you mentioned a moment ago, one thing about this PA defense, they may not be the biggest guys in the world, but their closing speed has been very, very good today.
Yeah, they've got great speed on all phases of the defense.
Handoff to Givens, straight ahead between the tackles, and Givens gets a good gain, but it's still going to bring up a 3rd down. Grant Pino makes the stop. It's a pickup of 4.
Big 3rd down here, boys, for the Warriors. Get back in this ball game.
Hill quick to run, and he will have the 1st down. That may have been a called draw. It's a 7-yard pickup. It looked like he wanted to throw the ball, but man, he didn't waste any time tucking it in, and he's a little slow to get up.
Yeah, he kind of laid there for a minute and was slow walking around. He may have taken a knee to the stomach or the chest area. He's trying to catch some wind right now as he walks around. No, he's not feeling too good.
Guys, hard to believe here in about 3 or 4 weeks he will have a Razorback basketball jersey on up in Fayetteville.
Yeah, he'll be there in January.
Yeah. They're going to call a timeout. This may be as much as anything just to give Justice Hill a chance to catch his breath.
Yeah, he tried to walk around and was away from the huddle. And in fact, he's going to take his helmet off and walk over the sidelines for a minute. Boy, it doesn't look like he's going to come in for this offensive play, Scott. I mean, he's headed over to the bench.
Not really sure what happened in that pile when he went down. He's putting his helmet right back on, though.
I think he's just out trying to walk around. You didn't like seeing him walk away from the offensive huddle and towards that bench, but he looks like he's going to be okay, and he'll be back out there. Let's see right here. Yeah, he dives in there and I couldn't really tell right there with that. I mean, you had 3 guys from Pulaski Academy jump on top of him, and you never know what happens on the bottom of those piles, Scott.
Yeah, that's true too. But he is back out there. Got his team a first down, and they're on the move with a chance to tie the game before halftime. A little miscommunication there. Pass intended for Chris Hightower, but Hightower either ran the route that, or didn't run the route that Hill was expecting, or Hill was off the page. Second and 10. Clark in motion. Little option play here down the line. Hill pitches at the last minute to Givens, but he's run out of bounds at the 45-yard line. Pulaski Academy pursued well there.
And he lost yards. It probably would have been better if Justice Hill would have kept the football himself, because his running back was about 2 yards behind him, and when he made the pitch, you lose 2 or 3 yards, and it was a great defensive play by Pulaski Academy. And if you're Justice Hill, just keep it yourself and don't lose that many yards.
It's a loss of 6 on the play. Little Rock Christian 3 for 5 on third down. This is third down and long, though. 16 to move the chains. Hill again quick to move the pocket. He finds a man open at the sticks. That's where he has to turn and get 10, and he will not be able to do it.
Well, now it's decision time, Scott. I mean, it's fourth down for Little Rock Christian, and you got to think they're going to keep the offense out there to try to go for it right here.
Hey guys, Chris Hightower, the big-time receiver for the Warriors, left unguarded on that play. They just missed him. He was wide open on the far sideline here.
The Warriors will go for it on 4th and 6. Hill throwing back. He's got a man deep. It's caught. Incomplete. Well, Loggins couldn't hang on.
And the back judge came in, and he didn't have a signal, and then the side judge, now they're going to talk about it, and yeah, they're going to say incomplete pass. Let's go back and watch the replay on this one, because I thought he had it and maybe fumbled it, but he never had possession of it.
You got to give credit defensively there. That ball was stripped away by Blake Titus.
I don't think he ever fully had possession, Scott.
I agree.
He almost cradled it and had it in a football move position. I don't want to get back into surviving the ground and all that talk, but just so close to being a big-time play.
Well, Titus got his arm in there. I mean, that was the difference. He couldn't wrap it up because Titus's defensive play. Kelly with the direct snap for Pulaski Academy. Jumps over one tackler. Stiff arms another. A good run by Jaden Kelly. Will move the sticks for Pulaski Academy. That's a pickup of 13.
Doing a nice job right there, Scott, of picking his spot in which hole to go through, and deliver a nice stiff arm to get that extra yard, enough to get the first down.
Well, Christian was in plus territory, a chance to tie the game, and now Pulaski Academy can open up a 2-score lead. Another direct snap to Kelly. Boy, the patience there by Kelly. And he just shuffles his way down inside the 40-yard line. Almost too easy. Colin Grigsby runs him out of bounds. It's another 12 yards. So that's 25 yards on 2 runs by Jaden Kelly out of the direct snap.
Well, I'm interested to watch this replay, because Luke Hawes, that big number 74 right there, he opened up a big block right there for Kelly to run, and he sealed off the edge essentially and did a great job. Those offensive linemen don't get their name called very often, but that time he sealed the edge and allowed for Kelly to get that run off.
Scott and RJ, I'm staring directly at Justice Hill on the bench here, and I think, RJ, you were right at the beginning. I think he's just exhausted. I think he's put so much into this first half, running around so much. He's just really trying to catch his breath, but nothing injury-wise from what I can tell.
Well, even when he's throwing the football, he's running around. I mean, both these quarterbacks are moving the pocket really quickly. Justice Hill's passing numbers, 3 out of 9 for 56 yards, a touchdown and an interception. He's carried the ball officially 6 times for 44 with a long of 23. He does have a touchdown run.
And then you look on the opposite side of that, Scott, for Pulaski Academy, the quarterback he's going up against, Braden Bratcher, 16 of 24 for 202 yards, 4 scores and a pick.
Well, who's going to survive, guys? We're only in the second quarter here.
And you see the total numbers on your screen there. Christian with only 104 yards of offense, but they've had short fields because of the turnovers. Cobb in the backfield. He gets the direct snap, and he works his way into the middle, and there's not as much there. It's a 1-yard pickup, a stop made by Drake Bradley. So we haven't seen Braden Bratcher on this drive yet. Had a couple of direct snaps to Kelly, and then one to Mason Cobb. And Cobb is in there again to take this direct snap. 6'1", 205 junior at quarterback. He's going to throw. And he hits his safe out to White, and White makes the catch, and he's rolled down out of bounds inside the 30-yard line. It's going to be another first down. William Parker Kerfoot makes the stop for Little Rock Christian, a gain of 10.
You know, that time Little Rock Christian playing a little zone on the outside, and you know, John David White's just able to find that spot where nobody's at. And if you look, you see 2 Little Rock Christian players kind of off the play a little bit, but look, he's wide open right there on the sideline, and he's able to get open and get the first down.
This time the direct snap goes to Woods, and Woods tries to bounce it outside and gets to the 25-yard line. And now we were just about to wonder. That was a 2-yard pickup. I was just about to ask the question if Bratcher's okay, but here he comes. This was all by design.
Yeah.
Guys, John David White could play for me and my team any time, any era of football. He is just such a competitor.
2nd down and 8, and Bratcher in for the first snap on this drive. Caleb Nichols goes in motion out of the backfield, and Bratcher's going to keep it on the draw. Good blocking up front. He gets inside the 20-yard line.
How about the fact that Bratcher goes down after smacking his head off somebody's knee over on the far side? And the first play back, Coach Kelly says, hey, why don't you run with it a little bit? Let's take you right up the gut.
That's an 8-yard gain. It's going to bring up a 3rd down and short. Pulaski Academy keeping it on the ground mostly in this drive. Oh, they do move the chains. I'm sorry. It is a first down. He got enough. Here come the chains now. They'll move them. 3:17 and ticking left to go here in the first half. Bratcher sends Nichols in motion, and he's going to keep it himself again. Drake Bradley not fooled by the play, but Bratcher able to get 4 yards before Bradley able to drag him down.
How good of a game is he having? Man, that number 7 is everywhere.
Learn more about the state's hot topics on Arkansas Week, Fridays at 6:30 p.m. on AETN.
My man Derek Walters, who's with the AAA, he was on Arkansas Week just a couple weeks ago. Great program on AETN.
Bratcher buys time with his feet again. Looking end zone. And now he's just going to throw it up in the back of the end zone. Boy, and a great catch made, but he's out of bounds.
What a catch.
Merritt Jones laid out for that one nicely, but it was well off of the boundary.
Christian's done a great job, guys, in this quarter, I think, of when Bratcher is scrambling around, really holding on to their man playing assignment football, because they've gotten loose a few times coming back to him. Not right there, as you called it, Scott. They were all over Merritt on that.
3rd down and 6 now. 2 plays to get it in for Pulaski Academy. That's a given. Again, moving the pocket. Lobbing it up back of the end zone, and it's out of the back of the end zone. That was really uncatchable. Nobody was going to bring that one in. Cobb, the intended receiver. A lot of contact on both sides there, but that was not going to be brought down in bounds. Correction, it was for Jones again.
I thought that they went with the slant pattern across the middle. I thought they were going to go with that, but you know, they were trying to go with the big ball and go with the big play, and what we got going on down here on the field right now? Looks like there's a penalty flag on that far side at the 18-yard line, Scott.
It's Little Rock Christian. Second of the game, and results in a 5-yard penalty.
You know, RJ,
Fourth
got to
down.
get their sideline warnings in. Got to get those in every game.
Well, it's part of the game. Got to keep everybody off the sidelines. By the way, our head official today, Landon Trusty, former UCA Bear and played football with the Denver Broncos for quite some time.
Hot Springs Lakeside. He was the man back in the day. Helped him to a basketball state championship down there in Lakeside.
So it'll be 4th and short. Pulaski Academy has done a really good job of burning some clock on this drive, too. It'll be Cobb straight ahead for the first down to the 5. Now, PA still has all 3 of their timeouts. Don't know if that'll come into play at all. Still 2:07 left to go in the half. That's a gain of 3. That's really worth pointing out. PA a chance to go up 2 scores, but they've burned enough clock time. It may be very difficult for Christian to score before the half. They will get the ball first, the Warriors will, in the 3rd quarter. Keeper by Bratcher, looking for room around the end, and he's not going to find it. Another good defensive play. The ball did pop loose, but they'll say he was down. It's Mabry with the stop. It's a loss of 4 on the play.
Scott, you say that it would be tough for Little Rock Christian to possibly score.
Well, that's true.
Don't forget about the first 2 scores that Little Rock Christian had.
But those were short fields, though, RJ.
Yes.
They'd have to go a little farther. Not that they couldn't.
All right, you two behave up there. I don't want to have to come up there now. Come on.
But we're down to $1:20 now. But you're right. Their scoring drives 47 seconds, 12 seconds, and 56 seconds. And one of those was a rather long drive. The first one, the long bomb, made it a short touchdown drive.
Yeah, looks like PA's going to call a timeout.
Pulaski Academy. It's their first time out of the half.
Well, yeah, right there. You've got 2nd down and 9 with 1:06 from the 9-yard line, and Kevin Kelly's going to try to find something to draw up to get as much motion going on with those wide receivers as possible. And right now, if you're Kevin Kelly, do you want to, with it being second down, do you want to run a couple plays? Maybe run a counter off left or right tackle and run that clock a little bit, so Little Rock Christian won't have a whole lot of time to potentially try to score.
I'll tell you guys have mentioned the crowd already, but it has across the way filled in very nicely. I mean, there were 20,000 here last night for Bryant and North Little Rock, and Bryant was really on the east side of the stands, and they probably they definitely had the bigger crowd of the 2 schools. But not that that's as big as Bryant was last night, but it's a pretty healthy crowd over there.
There are a lot of people over there on that Little Rock Christian Warriors side.
RJ, I'm dialing up Hudson Henry right here.
Well, that's like saying I'm going to go.
He's only got 1 catch.
That's easy.
He's only got 1 catch today.
I know.
He is on the left side of the formation, leading the trips out. It's going to be on the ground, though. He's going to be blocking for Bratcher. Bratcher is hit hard and dropped out of bounds. The first guy to him, Lawson Howard, and he delivered a blow on Bratcher. But keep the clock rolling.
Yeah, and you're seeing what Kevin Kelly's doing right here. He's letting Bratcher run with it a little bit and going to use up some of that clock, down to 45, 44 seconds left here in the first half. And you're in striking range to where you can draw up a play and try to score. I would imagine he'll probably try to take a shot right here.
Cobb next to Bratcher. Bratcher to throw. Here comes the blitz, and Bratcher gets out of it. Lobs it up. It's a deflection, or it was hit. His arm was hit as he threw it. That one was fortunate not to be picked off. Grant McElmurray with the hit on Braden Bratcher.
Yeah, McElmurray came in and applied all the pressure, and as he was just getting it off, he got hit. But a nice job by Bratcher to get out of that first tackle and was able to throw it. If you're Little Rock Christian, you're kind of like, we almost had a chance to get an interception. Now, how about this?
They're going to kick a field goal.
They're going to kick a field goal right here.
They're at least going to show that they're going to kick a field goal pre-snap. Clay James will line it up from 24 yards out.
They went with the hard count and fell for it.
Yeah.
Christian fell for it. Now Pulaski Academy is going to get a first down.
Wow.
Well, no,
they can't get a first down.
Yeah, it won't be a first down because it's goal. So
snap.
But they'll be closer.
It's on PA, though. They're going to call a false start.
How about that?
Really? Wow.
How about that, guys? I could have thought, just from watching, let's look at the replay. I thought
And they may want this, RJ. That might be a little better spot for the kicker.
Yeah, it was a kind of a full line twitch.
Well, they all went with the hand to the ground like they normally do. I don't know about that. Because one thing that Pulaski Academy does in unison, they're in their power position essentially, and then they all go to the ground with their hand to the ground. And like, watch this.
Were they already down though? No.
Now, see, like they've got their hands on their knees, right. And they all go down, and that's essentially the hard count. But I don't know where you'd call the false start on Pulaski Academy right there.
Guys, did you notice anything with the snap? That seems to be what Coach Kelly and Landon Trusty, the head official, are talking about. How the snap with the centers.
Yeah, I mean, call's been made. It's not like it's going to be overturned, but I think Coach Kelly right now is talking to the officials about that because I don't know where the false start came from.
Yeah, he's not going to win the battle, but he's going to get at least a clarification possibly.
So now instead of being essentially 2 yards out, you're backed up 5 yards as the ball is going to be at the 12-yard line.
So it will now be.
Now watch the offensive line. They're going to do it again.
Maybe that's what he wanted clarification on. What did we do wrong there? So this will be a 29-yard attempt for Clay James. This is breaking news. PA is attempting a field goal. And it is a good-looking field goal.
Actually, Scott, if you watch that right there, they didn't all go down at the same time. They all just stayed in their position with their knees, hands on their knees. So, hey,
it's not illegal though.
No, it's not. It's not illegal. I was, a lot of times Kevin Kelly and PA will use, and a lot of teams do it to where, in unison, everybody goes down to essentially trying to draw somebody off. And
the question is, when are you set?
When are you set? That's exactly right.
Set?
So,
well, Scott Inman informed me that we did have. Did you say 2 snap infractions on Greenwood yesterday?
Yes.
Okay. Because I haven't seen that call but except once, R.J. Hawk, in my lifetime.
Yeah.
Happened to our boys a couple weeks ago, but apparently it does happen. I've been told.
So now here, if Christian recovers the onside kick that we're expecting to see from Clay James, they will have a few seconds to throw to the end zone. They've done a good job with the hands team up front in this game. And they're going to pooch it. That's a wise kick. They're going to take the flag, but that's still not going to give Christian a chance to throw it to the end zone. I was wondering if they'd do that. 14 seconds left. If you do an onside kick there, Justice Hill could possibly throw it towards the goal line.
And you've got, no timeouts.
Free kick out of bounds. It's the kicking team.
This is going to be. I would imagine that if Christian's going to try to do anything, you'll see some deep out routes to get to the sideline and stop the clock. And they're not going to take a knee. I mean, when you've got a quarterback like Justice Hill, run those out routes and try to get as much yards as possible.
Short pass over the middle. Ware's got to get out of bounds. He does not. And Little Rock Christian cannot stop the clock. That's going to be it.
If they would have got the first down, it would have stopped it momentarily to move the chains. And I think that's what they were kind of looking for, to get to the line, and they didn't get it done.
We have reached the half in a highly, highly entertaining 5A state championship game. Little Rock Christian had the worst start imaginable with an interception on the first play offensively for them, already down at the time by a score, but they clawed their way back, took a 21-20 lead, but then once again another answer by the defending champs. The Bruins will lead at 31-21 at the intermission. Eric Sullivan is down waiting for our halftime interview. He is down there at the goal line as Kevin Kelly works his way. He's going to have a few more comments with the officiating crew before he reaches our broadcast position.
Probably don't need to have Coach Mike during all that, but
just real quick.
All right, let's go down to Eric.
All right, we're headed with head coach Kevin Kelly at PA. You've got the lead here, Coach. Can you explain what was going down that last few seconds with the kick? on the kick on y'all lined up and they called you on all sides?
Oh, it's an interpretation, and we all put our hands down at the same time. They called it simulating the snap. And there's about 2 crews in the state that call that a penalty. The rest of the time it's an offsides, and they do a good job. Landon Trusty and his guys do a good job, but that's their interpretation, and I just hate rules that are open to interpretation. It shouldn't be a rule. It should be, if they are offsides, okay. If we false start, okay. But other than that, you should let it go.
All right, as Christian came to fight, you know that already. You got the lead, but you settled down to go up 10 at half. What are you expecting in the second half?
Well, I mean, we're going to have to come out and kick off, and we're going to try to get the onside kick. If we don't, we've got to play great defense. I'm pretty happy because they're so explosive with what we've done, because we fumbled, we turned it over, we gave it to them on our 9-yard line, and to still be up 31-21, I'm pretty happy with that. But we know they can score quick. As you saw, we're up 14-0. They made it 14-14 pretty dang quick. They're pretty explosive.
Good luck second half, Coach.
Thank you.
Appreciate that. All right, Scott, there you have it. An interpretation of the rule is what Coach Kelly does not like, and I think we all would like to know one way or the other, but that was his explanation of that, and he knows it should be an interesting second half, guys.
All right, Eric, and it's shorts weather. It's always shorts weather for Kevin Kelly,
yes.
But it actually is today. Not a bad day and a good first half for both teams. We're at the half here at War Memorial Stadium. Good crowd seeing the action. We're glad you're with us. Halftime coming up next. You're watching the 2018 Centennial Bank High School State Finals on AETN Sports.
Wow, that is unbelievable.
Stay curious.
For every moment, for every memory, from that first car to your first home, to your first child, and all the highs and lows that tomorrow might bring. For everything that matters most to you and your family, there's someone right around the corner dedicated to helping you protect what you love. Your local Farm Bureau Insurance agent. Farm Bureau Insurance. Real service, real people.
31-21, the Bruins of Pulaski Academy over the Little Rock Christian Academy Warriors. I want to let you know at halftime we're going to give you some band entertainment to give you a little bit of a feel of what it's like here at the stadium. And the first band is up and ready to play. So we're going to pause and let you hear some of that, and we'll continue with our halftime in just a few moments.
One of the best things about being a community-focused bank like Centennial is that we encourage our employees to volunteer and give back. That's why our bankers are often seen around town involved in activities that have less to do with money matters and more to do with supporting others. From charity events and disaster relief to Chamber of Commerce and civic activities, we enjoy rolling up our sleeves and helping make our community a better place. See for yourself the difference our local commitment can make. More information available at my100bank.com. Centennial Bank, member FDIC.
Broadcast of this championship game is made possible by
Law Offices of Gary Green, a people's practice representing people with serious injuries in areas of personal injury, nursing home negligence, and product liability. We are proud to be underwriters of AETN.
You'll find us at the end of a lot of long country roads, covering over 60% of the great state of Arkansas to provide reliable power to over 500,000 homes, farms, and businesses. The Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas, your local energy partners.
As part of AETN's coverage of the finals, we are showcasing outstanding student athletes in each division and in each game. In 5A, let's meet Pulaski Academy senior Bennett Perkins, a young man who wants to be a doctor and is excelling at football and in the classroom while dealing with some unique challenges at home.
You know, he's not the most physical football player, and he plays linebacker for us.
I mean, I guess I wasn't that good at the beginning of my career.
But Bennett asked what could he do to get on the field, and we said you need to use the strength that you have, which is the intellect, and learn everybody else's position. Help them get lined up. Help them with offense throw something at them that we haven't seen.
So I just learned how to work hard and just how to not take the easy way out. I think that's been very important for me just in life, and I think it will help me in the future. My mom had a stroke last year.
And now they have to take care of mom and tend to her and spend time that as a teenager you don't think you have.
I've been helping her out a lot with just rehab and helping her walk around our house and stuff.
And I thought he's gonna let down academically a little bit. You've got to. He's gonna let down on the field a little bit. You can't not because of the emotion and the extra time that's involved. And he hasn't let down any at all. He's continued to excel, maybe even more. I think he pushed himself even harder.
That's one thing that's helped me to find my passion. My inspiration has just been helping people, and going to med school and becoming a doctor would allow me to help people.
He just represents what you would want a kid to be now. He excels on the field, he excels in the academic world, and then he excels as a citizen. I think he's the kind of kid that believes if I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it to the best of my ability.
Bennett is a wonderful example of the character of these student athletes, and we are proud to celebrate his achievements in academics and life. And we also want to celebrate outstanding student athletes in today's 5A championship game as well. Also from Pulaski Academy is Luke Hawes, a senior guard with a GPA of 4.43. He plans to study computer science. And from Little Rock Christian, offensive lineman Philip DeLeo. He plays guard. He's a senior. His GPA 4.29. He plans to be pre-med. We'll continue with more of our halftime at War Memorial Stadium in a moment. You're watching the 2018 Centennial Bank High School State Finals on AETN Sports.
So the last time you saw Mary Frances was
About 75 years ago.
It's wonderful to see you.
Beat up, but won't be broken. Lonesome, but always searching.
You've got to struggle out there to live, but all you have to do to die is just give up.
Long days, too many short nights. Wrong ways that almost felt right.
It was such a deep wound.
I would never want to see any history erased.
Keep on, keeping on.
These are your people.
No. Wow. Need a Kleenex. Really?
To the dreamers, wide believers, hanging on to hope by a thread.
You changed my life.
To the soulful, heart open, hopeful, keep on charging ahead. 'Cause when you feel it and you believe it, it's unforgettable. When you know it and you hold it, it's unforgettable.
A new chapter begins.
Now you can access more of your favorite PBS shows than ever before.
This is the future.
With PBS Passport, a member benefit that lets you binge many of the latest shows and catch up on your favorites.
We really are living in the modern world.
Anytime you want,
Wow, how about that?
anywhere you are.
There's literally nothing like this in the world. Support AETN and get Passport, your ticket to the best of PBS.
This year, PBS won 9 Emmy Awards, including more news and documentary Emmys than any other network.
Congratulations to all our winners.
The moment of discovery. You can't beat it.
There's a dream that waits like a tiger.
That was amazing.
An ember that grows to a fire. And we're climbing to the greatest heights. The world can't stop us now. They try to bring us down, but we just run brighter.
Wow, how about that?
Literally nothing like this in the world.
Welcome back to War Memorial Stadium. Inside of 9 minutes left in our halftime, and it's time for more halftime entertainment as we go down to the field and listen to the marching band sounds that are happening here at the stadium for those in attendance.
I choose local because local companies stay rooted in their communities. They support other local businesses and provide jobs for your friends and neighbors. At Fidelity Communications, we take great pride in being a local company that's dedicated to the communities we serve. Jobs and opportunities for the people you love. That's why you choose local. Fidelity Communications. We're here, we're local. Be connected with Fidelity, your local internet, TV, and home phone provider.
A new chapter begins.
Now you can access more of your favorite PBS shows than ever before.
This is the future!
With PBS Passport, a member benefit that lets you binge many of the latest shows and catch up on your favorites.
We really are living in the modern world.
Anytime you want.
Wow, how about that?
Anywhere you are.
There's literally nothing like this in the world. Support AETN and get Passport, your ticket to the best of PBS.
The path to the state finals begins at a young age for many of these players with youth football. There are, of course, 2 terrific coaches on the sidelines today, but imagine being 8 or 10 years old and your coach is a former Razorback star and NFL linebacker. That's the case for the Arkansas Hawks and their dedicated coach, Steve Conley.
Five, 4, 3, 2, go.
I started the Arkansas Hawks to bring a better brand of youth football to this area, to expose kids that might not get a chance to ever leave the state, to take them places, but they never get a chance to go. It ended up being something bigger than I ever thought it was. It went from just trying to teach kids the game of football to actually end up teaching them the game of life.
Great job. Joy, listen.
My sports background started back in Chicago, Illinois. I saw my brother in the state championship in 1981 and won 4 gold medals. And ever since then, I was hooked. I found myself chasing everything he did in sports. And while I was chasing him, I found out I had a little talent myself. I was pretty talented in track, pretty talented in basketball, but I ended up finding my home in football. After leaving my track scholarship to walk on the Razorback football team, I was able to get a scholarship. By my 4th year, I became the team captain. And like I said before, that year we won the SEC West. I led the SEC in sacks that year with 15, which blessed me to be drafted in the 3rd round by the Pittsburgh Steelers. What'd you strap out, Jimmy? I have one kid who said he's never left the state of Arkansas, and this was the first year he had a chance to actually go to Oklahoma, and he'd have a chance to go to Dallas to play in the All-Star game as well for the first time. And this kid is just not just about football. He loves being around, meeting new friends, meeting new coaches, learning the game of football, as well as learning a lot of things about being a man, because unfortunately his dad's not in the house as well. So it's been a lot of great things from that aspect.
Hey, come here, man. When you come from here, don't go here, man. And you come like this. You see, look at his outshot shot. Before you even reach, your focus is here. Turn him back in, and once you get it, then you sit. You reach out because you're trying to go.
Arkansas Hawks is an acronym for hard at work kids. And the purpose of telling these kids that they're hard at work kids is to let them know that nothing's going to be easy for them, that they have to work for what they want in life. And if you work and you give your 100% at what you want to be in life, there's a good chance that it might turn out for you.
And we look forward to seeing some of those kids in the state finals here at War Memorial Stadium in the years to come. Hey, fans, at the end of this game, state champions merchandise will be available online at ArkansasHighSchoolSports.com. Get the same merchandise available at the stadium online at the conclusion of this game. You can get your gear at ArkansasHighSchoolSports.com. Both teams headed back out onto the field soon here, as we are about to approach double zeros or triple zeros on the halftime clock. They'll put up 3 minutes then of warm-up time, so we're a little over 3 minutes away from the start of the 3rd quarter. Time to check out the halftime stats, with PA leading Little Rock Christian 31-21. See a big discrepancy in the total yards, but Little Rock Christian had short fields on all of their touchdown drives. In fact, their longest touchdown drive of this game was 47 yards. The other one, 24 yards and 4 yards. They got that because of turnovers by Pulaski Academy. passing yards and rushing yards, leaning the Bruins' way as well. Penalties not really a major factor. Bruins with a lot more first downs, 19 to 4 the edge there. Third down conversions rather even. And Pulaski Academy 4 for 4 on fourth down, and they win the time of possession battle, but they turn the ball over 3 times compared to 1 for Little Rock Christian. Some individual numbers. Justice Hill with 44 yards rushing and a touchdown on the ground. That's 7.3 per carry. He's 4 out of 10 passing for 64 yards and a touchdown. His top target, Matthew Ware, with 2 catches for 18 yards. For Pulaski Academy, Braden Bratcher is 16 out of 27 for 202 yards, 4 touchdown passes in the first half. He does have the 1 interception. His top target was Mason Cobb. He has 6 catches for 61 yards. John D. White also with 4 catches for 97 yards. Hudson Henry caught 3 balls in the first half for 30 yards, but he had some great blocking that sprung a couple of those scores. Jaden Kelly, the leading rusher for the Bruins, 7 carries for 78 yards. That's 11.1 per carry. Braden Bratcher also has 76 yards on the ground. So the quarterback's putting up some pretty good numbers, the receivers as well. And as we check out the first half highlights, RJ, there were plenty to go around.
Boy, it really was. And right here you see Bratcher being able to go back to the left side to Kelly, and that was the first score of the ball game as he was able to walk it back in. And then here's the interception. This was by Justice Hill. That was their first possession of the ball game. Justice Hill intercepted, then Bratcher. Look at him. Cool, calm, and collective. Goes left side for the second score of the game. That one over to John D. White. Now, here's the first score for Little Rock Christian. Big touchdown pass to Michael Loggins. That went for 45 yards in the score. Now here comes Little Rock Christian as Kendall Givens takes it in for Little Rock Christian. And before we get to any more highlights, let's head down to Eric Sullivan real quick, who has the Little Rock Christian head coach, Eric Koyu.
All right, thank you, RJ and Scott. Coach Koyu, what was the message to your players at the half? You did have the lead this game. They got it back. What are you telling your guys?
Well, it's a 4-quarter, and we just got to keep playing. I focus on every next play. You know, momentum starts with the next play. We want to recapture the momentum after every play, do their job.
Justice I don't think he was banged up by any means, but what's the status on him? He looked pretty good over here while I just watched him warm up.
Yeah, I think he's fine. He's got to make plays along the rest of the team, and we're going to have to get some stops on defense, execute on offense.
All right, second half, Coach, we wish you the best.
Thank you so much.
There's Coach Koyu right there. RJ, Scott, let's go back to you guys.
Thank you. You know, one highlight, Scott, that we didn't get to was that Braden Bratcher's 65-yard pass to John David White. That really kind of opened things up for Pulaski Academy there in the first half.
That was a big, big touchdown play, and Henry had the block that sprung him. There it is right there as he went all the way down the sidelines.
That was a big-time play for Pulaski Academy as they were able to kind of blow this thing open, and they later went with a field goal to make the halftime score 31-21. And it'll be interesting to see what Little Rock Christian can dial up here in the second half, as they'll get the ball first to start the second half. And you see Pulaski Academy right there talking things over as the third quarter clock is reset to 12, and now here they come.
Hey, Scott and RJ, real quickly, I just want to mention to you guys, considerably cooler right now than it was at the start of this football game, especially if you're on the PA side. So the sun is down, and they have to get these lights on here in a minute.
Yeah, we played the first half in full sun and now full shade, almost full shade. There's still a little bit of pockets of sun there on the field, and the east side still getting some sun. But you're right, it will be dark before this one's over.
Guys, first half took almost 2 hours to play.
Yep. James to put the ball on the ground, and he puts a spinner in there. Nicely done, and it is loose briefly. I think Christian was able to get on it, though. Alex Clark had to wrestle with it, but he got his hands on it. Little Rock Christian will start at the 49.
Yeah, he was able to stop it with one hand and kind of say, okay, you slow down right there, and was able to jump on top of it.
It was going across the turf like it was ice.
Yeah, that's one of their packages that they've got where they don't even put it on a tee, and they kick that thing to make it spin.
Hill with a quick pass out to Hightower to start off, and Hightower's tripped up about the line of scrimmage. That was a nice open field tackle right there by Zach White. It'll be a gain of 1. You know, it's interesting, as much offense that will be on display in the second half, it could be some defensive plays that make the difference in this game. Have to get a few of them. End around goes to Loggins, and Loggins is run out of bounds before he can get to the edge.
Pulaski Academy has done a great job today defending the run, as Little Rock Christian has only run for 48 yards so far in this one and just not been able to get anything off the edge. Pulaski Academy has done a great job flying to the football and just sealing that edge off.
Well, we mentioned their 3 touchdown drives all inside of 50 yards. They have not gone the length of the field yet. Not a tremendous amount of offense, but they're in the game. 3rd and 10. Gibbons in motion. And Hill's going to swing it to him. He got a long way to go. Got some blocks, though, but he's going to be ridden out of bounds. He'll be short of the first down. And Little Rock Christian, as Dylan Allison makes the play for PA, he's going to have to decide if they're going to leave their offense on the field. After a gain of 6, looks like they are.
Yeah, they're about 3 yards shy of the first down. And really, I think that at this point, I know it's still early in the second half, but Little Rock Christian's got to get something to motivate that sideline over there, and I think they're going to go for it right here.
Yep, and Justice Hill is going to be split out wide. Hightower has come in to take the snap. So Hill is going to be a receiver, but he's going to be a decoy. It's going to be Hightower. He almost breaks free to go the distance, but he will have enough for the first down. Zach White brought him down.
Yeah, went Wildcat right there, Scott. And you split Justice Hill out wide, and you allow Hightower to then decide, well, are we going to throw it? You just depending on what the defense gives you. And that time it was a straight run for Hightower to take it up the middle.
How
16
about
yards?
Sorry, Scott. How about the line, offensive line of the Warriors right there, really pushing back those Bruins to make that happen?
Big 4th down conversion for Little Rock Christian. Now Hill back in there, and he gives it to Loggins again, and Loggins is inside the 20, down to the 14-yard line.
Scott, that's probably one of the best runs Little Rock Christian's had in this ball game, and that was just a jet sweep off that left side, and he was able to take it up and pick up a first down out of the deal.
Caleb Nichols made the stop for Pulaski Academy. They mark him down at the 15-yard line. Hill throwing left and in the turf. Well shy of Chris Hightower, Alex Clark, his intended receiver.
I think that one slipped out of his hand again, Scott. The very first possession of the ball game, he tried to throw and it was an interception because the ball slipped out of his hand. I think it may have slipped out right there as well. No, it was just a bad throw.
Seemed like a long time ago when that fluky interception occurred, guys. My goodness.
Gibbons sets, throws end zone. Nice ball, but it was too far out in front of his intended receiver, Matthew Ware. It was on a rope, but he just led him a little bit too much.
Yeah, nice throw by Justice Hill, but it led his wide receiver, and so now it sets up a 3rd down. They can still pick up the first down if they get to the 5-yard line.
That's a lot of arm strength right there.
Yeah.
Christian is 3 of 7 on 3rd down this afternoon. Buying time, Hill throws sidelines and out of bounds. Chris Hightower, his intended receiver, he was the guy who was looking for first, then looked off of him, came back to him, but he was out of bounds making the catch.
And here's the thing, even if he makes that catch, he's still going to be about 5 yards shy of the first down. So now you've got 4th and 10.
Something not just a little off on Justice throwing the ball today. I don't know if it's the weather, the grip, the emotions, just a little off, Scott, I've noticed.
Well, he's also been under pressure quite a bit. I mean, if you look at Pulaski Academy, they've really attacked, which way, whether it be the right side, left side, or both. They've gone after Justice Hill, and now they're bringing on the field goal unit.
Isaiah Hankins is going to line up a 32-yard attempt, and they ran out of time, so they're going to call a timeout. They spent a little bit of time as that play clock was running trying to decide if they were going to go for it. But Eric Cohue deciding to send the field goal unit out. And I think that's a good call. You're down 2 scores. You can get the field goal right here and be within a touchdown. But Anytime you trade 3 for 7, you feel like you're losing in this game.
Yeah, no, you're exactly right. You know, you got to get the points. And I just think that, you know, for Little Rock Christian, they've got to find a way to get Justice Hill more comfortable in the pocket. Right now, he's spending a lot, especially on this drive, he has spent a lot of time rolling out and running for his life to try to make a play. And I know part of the offense is designed for him to throw on the running and get out of the pocket. I understand that, but time after time, Pulaski Academy has put a lot of pressure on him to throw it before he's wanted to.
After the timeout, it'll be a 32-yard attempt by Isaiah Hankins from the left hash. And it squeezes into that left upright. Little Rock Christian gets points on their opening drive of the third quarter. You know, you talk about Hill in that pocket. He is very quick to get outside of it. It's almost as if he's not comfortable settling in there, because sometimes he's getting pressured, sometimes he's not. We'll talk a little bit more about that on the other side of the break. You're watching the 2018 Centennial Bank High School State Finals on AETN Sports.
This year, PBS won 9 Emmy Awards, including more news and documentary Emmys than any other network. Congratulations to all our winners.
Broadcast of this championship game is made possible by
Law Offices of Gary Green, a people's practice, representing people with serious injuries in areas of personal injury, nursing home negligence, and product liability. We are proud to be underwriters of AETN.
You'll find us at the end of a lot of long country roads, covering over 60% of the great state of Arkansas to provide reliable power to over 500,000 homes, farms, and businesses. The Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas, your local energy partners.
31-24, Pulaski Academy's lead by a touchdown, and they'll get the ball first. Allison and Cobb are back deep at the 20, but they're going to watch that kickoff sail over their head and go into the end zone for a touchback, as the Bruins take the field offensively for the first time in the second half.
Have they returned a kick yet? I mean, they've all hit the end zone.
They went back and they picked one up at the goal line.
That's
remember?
right, yes.
But they've all been to the end zone. Good kicker, Isaiah Hankins.
Scott and RJ, the Warriors' offensive side of the ball, all meeting right now, trying to maneuver something, get something clicking. You guys made a good point to get him going, get Justice Hill going, because if you get 7 or 8 points right here, you really start to think it's too much to overcome.
Well, I just feel like he's quick to get out of that pocket, taking about a 2 count and then running for his life. Not much there for Kelly. He is stood up by Jack Mabry as soon as he reaches the line of scrimmage. They will get forward progress and give him a couple. You know, and certainly his best asset is the legs of Justice Hill. But he is quick to pull the trigger to at least buy time with it if he doesn't go ahead and run. Bratcher, a good runner as well in his own right for Pulaski Academy. They make a snap there. Would look like might have been offsides. Quick slant pattern is connected to Andrew Cobb, and Cobb is out over the 30-yard line. He will be brought down there.
Getting a little feisty down here, fellas. A little bit feisty. As you can imagine, Little Rock Christian pretty frustrated. They didn't get 7 points on the board right there, and you can bet PA will. They are not afraid to go for the throat, as they always do, it seems like.
Cobb had his jersey pulled off of his shoulder pads. Now he's lined up and ready to go. PA right back up there on 1st and 10. That pass in and out of the hands of Henry. He might have been out of bounds anyway. And boy, Bratcher took a shot from William Parker Kerfoot just as he threw it.
Yeah, that's what I was watching to see. You know, Bratcher earlier in the first half, he took a hit to the back of the head, and this time took a big lick as he released that football. And looks like he's okay, though.
Bratcher flushed, lobs it down the sidelines, incomplete. Another big collision. Jaden Kelly, the intended receiver, but he was laid out by Alex Beasy, and he is slow to get up.
Well, he's laid out by Beasy and his own player, Merritt Jones. There was 4 players all in the same spot, Scott. And you watch right here, Kelly, there's Beasy, and then there's Merritt Jones for Pulaski Academy. They're all kind of converging together for one spot. And it looks like Kelly's going to be okay, but boy, you just don't like to see that. It was a play gone wrong. You know, everybody kind of went to that one spot, and
everybody was going for the ball. It was just a tangled mess there.
Guys, number 1, Lawson Howard, you got to tip your hat to him for a Little Rock Christian. He is just spying Hudson Henry every single place he goes, and you know what, guys, he's done a pretty darn good job so far.
Third and 10, throwback, connected to J.D. White. He has a touchdown already from 66 out, and he has room to roam down the far sidelines. Beasy pushes him out of bounds, but it's another Pulaski Academy first down.
And not only is he just a good receiver, he's really fast. You know, you look at so far in the ball game for Pulaski Academy, John David White with 5 receptions for 115 yards and 3 touchdowns. He's had a heck of a ball game so far.
He says, go ahead and keep spying on Henry. Henry's down here on the bottom of your screen. Inside receiver. The handoff goes to Kelly. And Kelly straight ahead. That's a good up the middle run. The stop made by Jackson Woodard. It's a gain of 5.
Starting to get the feeling, RJ and Scott, PA knows if they can go get 7 or 8 right here, they could probably have this game. It's just a lot of excitement and emotion they're playing with right now.
Well, yeah, Eric, you say that. They jumped out to a 14-0 lead, and Little Rock Christian bounced back.
Yeah, but Christians haven't had very good offense so far in this half.
Blindside sack of Braylon Bratcher by Jackson Woodard. Bratcher never saw him. Big defensive play for Little Rock Christian.
Yeah, I mean, that right there came off the edge and was practically untouched as he came in, and he just had a clear view. Look at that. Made a great move off the end and just came in and got Bratcher right there. That's a great job by that defensive end. Great first move off the defensive line to bypass the tackle and get towards the quarterback.
Third down and 12. Play action. Backpedaling is Bratcher, setting up the screen to Cobb, and Cobb makes the catch, but he barely gets back to the line of scrimmage. Good coverage again that time for Little Rock Christian. Bernard Givens Jr. brings him down. It is a gain of 4. It'll bring up a 4th down and about 8. I was about to say brings up it makes 4th down more manageable. Yeah. I don't say that in very many games. Yeah. It's a manageable 4th down. Looking for Henry. Now he throws the crossing route to White again. White's been the go-to guy today.
He's going to be close.
He's close, but I don't think he's got it. Nope, he doesn't have it. He's a yard short. They mark him at the 40-yard line.
I don't know if that's a good spot, Scott.
It is a turnover on downs, and there is a Little Rock Christian player down.
I know PA fans are not happy with the spot.
Michael Loggins is slow to get up, and Loggins is an offensive player as well.
He's one of the leading receivers for Little Rock Christian, as he's got 799 yards. He's second receiving for Little Rock Christian offensively.
Yeah, RJ, I'm with you on that. He made that extra dive without, this not being college and NFL football. You just never know maybe where he extended that football out in real time. It's hard to judge that in real time.
We're looking at the replay now, Eric.
And he dove out there, but he was out of bounds.
You don't know where he was out of bounds.
Yeah, we don't have the sideline view. I don't think that will show where he was at. But, yeah, that was here, let's take a look at the sideline view right here. And
it's before he starts to stretch out.
Yeah.
So where you're seeing him stretched out there, he was already out. I think that's probably a pretty good mark.
Probably a good spot, yeah.
Those are so tough to judge in real time.
Yeah, they really are.
Great work by the truck, by the way. Great video there on the replay.
So Little Rock Christian made the stop that they needed, and now they're down by 7 points, trying to get back in this thing.
First 4th down that Pulaski Academy failed on today. Technically, they did not fail on the interception. Just kind of a snafu in the stats. They were 4 for 4 before that in the first half on 4th down. Still a Little Rock Christian stop, though. And here's Hill diving straight ahead to the 44-yard line. Gain of 4 yards.
Guys, the lights are turned on. I'm telling you, I'm having trouble. I'm having trouble in the middle of the field seeing right now. So thankfully, they have put those on, and we'll get a little bit brighter out here.
Quick pass connected to Clark, and Clark has a first down, lowers his shoulder, and delivers a lick of his own, going through Zach White. White will get credit for the tackle. It's a 10-yard gain, and Christian moves the sticks.
That's a great job right there. You swing it outside, get a block from your outside wide receiver, Chris Hightower, and they will pick up the first down right there.
He's a tough kid, guys. He's made a lot of those dirty plays you have to make in the big ball games like this.
Hill connects again with Hightower, and Hightower is out of bounds at about the 39-yard line of Pulaski Academy. Stop made by Clay James. 7-yard pickup.
Yeah, they're methodical right now. They're just 5 yards here, 5 yards there, and working it downfield. You don't have to have all 80 yards in one possession.
Option play to the right. Givens gets the pitch, and it doesn't work again. He does not get back to the line of scrimmage. That option play has not fooled Pulaski Academy today. Fuda Shinkawa gets the stop. It's a loss of 2.
Yeah, that just what the option play has not worked all day for Little Rock Christian. Matthew Ware, the outside wide receiver, he came in to make a block, and he tried to seal off that edge, and there was 3 guys there, and Ware wasn't able to make the block, and it just blew the whole play up.
Dylan Allison, the injured Bruin, being helped off the field.
Looks like a left ankle. Scott got rolled up there. He's not putting any weight on it whatsoever.
Christian 3 for 8 on 3rd downs in the ball game. On this drive, they've gotten the ball out of the hands of Hill quickly with short passes. Let's see what they do on 3rd and 6. Hill's going for it all. The deep ball is incomplete. May have been some contact intended for Chris Hightower. Do not see a flag. Zach White was on the coverage.
He pushed off, Scott. He pushed him.
Well, let's look at the replay.
You think offensive?
No.
Oh, you think the defense
White pushes him right there.
Okay.
Let's look at this replay right here, and I don't see much contact.
I don't see it there.
He pushed him, I promise you.
I mean, we're watching the replay right here, Eric.
I promise you, everybody over here saw it.
A little bit there.
Not much to call pass interference.
They knocked him off his route in the air.
Not really.
Little Rock Christian is definitely going to go for it on 4th down and 6. Down a touchdown, late 3rd quarter now. And again, Hill wants it all for Hightower. And Hightower makes the catch and carries a defender into the end zone for the touchdown. 41 yards.
Yeah, that was a great job right there. I mean, when it doesn't work the first time, go back at it a second time, right, Scott? And that's what they did right there, except for the second time, it was a touchdown.
Great catch by Hightower over the shoulder, running under it. What a great grab. He's a big kid, too. 6'2", 185, a junior. And Hankins is on for the point after. And this game's tied.
See, just like that, I was telling you. Everybody says that PA was trying to run away with this thing. Christian's right back in, and they've tied the ball game. And with 5:04 to play here in the 3rd quarter, Justice Hill with his arm, he only had like 65 yards passing coming in, and now up to 123 yards passing.
Hey, travel the state with Chuck Dovish on Exploring Arkansas each Wednesday night at 6:30 and weeknights at 10, only on AETN.
6 plays, 60 yards, a minute 37, Scott, for the Little Rock Christian Warriors.
The Warrior students are getting rowdy, guys. Y'all can tell, I'm sure.
Well, we're headed for a good finish. Still 5:04 left in the 3rd quarter. A lot could happen. PA ran away with it in the regular season meeting between these two schools. Justice Hill did not play in that game, though, remember. And he's made a difference today. His receivers have made a difference, too.
I really just, Pulaski Academy has no interest in returning the football. I mean, they're putting their guys at the 10 and 15-yard line to drive back just because they have to, essentially. And so Little Rock Christian kicks it in the end zone once again, and Pulaski Academy will have it from the 20-yard line.
Hey, guys, it was kind of funny when I told you the offensive staff was meeting and the offensive players on the Christian sideline. It was Hightower going, hey, I'm ready, guys. Give it to me. And, boy, did he deliver right there.
Look at the total yardage on the screen, 419 to 208 right now in favor of Pulaski Academy.
Kelly in motion out of the backfield. It's Bratcher. Bratcher breaks through to the second level, and he has a first down. Alex Veazey wrestled him down.
You know, we were talking about Bratcher earlier, and when you look at him, just not a very big guy, 5'11", 165, but watch him right here. He's able to go off that left side and really drags one guy and then has to wrangle another one and to finally get him down. And just he plays so strong out there on the football field.
Bratcher in trouble. Great mobility. Now flings it upfield. It's caught by John David White. Who else?
Oh, my goodness.
You know, John David White, before that catch, was the leading receiver for Pulaski Academy with 122 yards of offense, and he had some more there, right there.
Look at the timing, RJ. Beautifully done by him.
34-yard gain, and that really started by the mobility of Braden Bratcher. Bratcher to give to Kelly. He shuffles his way inside the 30-yard line. Stop made by Grant McElmurray. Hey, listen to this stat on Justice Hill. 123 yards passing, 86 of it coming on the 2 touchdown passes.
Wow.
A couple of bombs there of 45 and 41.
Nothing wrong with his deep ball arm, guys. They have been on the money today.
2nd down and 7. And it's Kelly. And a good open field stop by Jackson Woodard.
Yeah, that time Little Rock Christian, they sniffed that one out once it left Bratcher's hand.
It's a loss of 1. There's been some good open field tackling by these defenses.
You know, when you look at this thing, both teams are scoring in the high 50s, low 60s, and they've been kind of contained so far.
Bratcher throws low. Intended for Merritt Jones. And it's going to bring up a 4th down. Well, yeah, you're right. The Christian fans are definitely in it right now.
Guys, Hudson Henry, I'm telling you, Lawson Howard is playing phenomenal. I mean, a phenomenal job spying on him. I don't know if you've mentioned his name, Scott, since the first quarter.
You're right.
Yeah, Scott, say his name some more.
Hudson Henry's lined up. The inside middle receiver. Bratcher with all day trying to buy some time. Can't find anybody. Oh, but he can run for it. Decides to throw instead, and there is your man. Hudson Henry with the catch at the 15-yard line. First down, Pulaski Academy.
Look, I know that Bratcher just made a great, but watch this offensive line.
Oh,
they get up, okay, well, nope, not going to work here. Nope, not going to work there because there's a block, and then comes back right side. And the offensive line, that's what you call up downs. Whenever the coach he teaches those up downs, it's because their offensive linemen are getting up and down to go make those blocks.
Good call, RJ. That was really pretty to watch those guys protect their guy right there.
Never gave up on the play. 1st and 10 at the 15. Inside goes to Kelly. And Kelly is pulled backward after a nice gain. Gets to the 12, maybe the 11. We'll call it a 4-yard gain as the clock goes inside of 3 minutes. Jack Mabry credited for the stop. That was a big 4th down connection right there. Big conversion. Probably the biggest of the game so far. Christian had all the momentum.
Yeah.
And was about to get the ball back if they could have brought Bratcher down.
You know, most teams are conditioned to feel, you know, once you get those 3 downs, then you can come off the field. But when you play Pulaski Academy, you are in for the long haul, that's for sure.
Bratcher to throw over the middle, and it was knocked down by Corey Platt Jr. I don't think he had a really good shot at picking it off, but that was a ill-advised throw. Bratcher probably didn't see it.
Well, no, and mainly because Platt Jr. was coming across, and he was actually following a receiver and just kind of the right place, the right time, and stuck his hand out there.
Yep. Third down again. Bratcher on the draw. Weaves his way inside the 10-yard line. Jackson Woodard will drag him down a little bit shy of the sticks.
Okay, now you've got another fourth down, Scott. We know Pulaski Academy's not going to kick the field goal. They're going to leave the offense out here. Now, the analytics say let Bratcher run it. Let him try to roll outside and run. Let's see what Kevin Kelly does here with the 5 wide receiver set.
PA 5 of 6 on fourth down.
You got 2 yards to gain for the first down right here.
Henry's the inside receiver at the top of your screen. Bratcher is going to try to run for it, but he's going to have trouble, and he's going to be brought down at the 9-yard line. Corey Pratt Jr. and Christian will take over on down.
See, we've seen this earlier in the ball game where they line those 5 wide receiver sets up, and then Bratcher's going to take it himself. He has the option to throw it, but the earlier play that they had, he just went off right side rather than left side. And now this time Christian was ready for it and was able to get him down for the fourth down stop.
The Warriors led 21-20 briefly. They have a chance to take their second lead of the game now. Long field, 1:32 left third quarter. And Hill goes empty set. And he's in trouble. But he can run. And he makes positive yardage out of a would-be sack. Out of bounds after a 5-yard gain.
Most quarterbacks, Scott, will be in that situation. They'll just have to run out of bounds and either lose yards. But the speed Justice Hill shows, man, he just runs and just outruns everybody.
And RJ and Scott, Coach Kelly, for the first time I've seen in this ball game, is now off the sideline speaking with Bratcher one-on-one and his entire offense. So feel the nerves coming a little bit, guys. It's a top ball game.
Second down and 5. Hill going to keep it again. Weaves his way close to the 20-yard line. He's going to be about a yard and a half short. Pickup of 4. Blake Titus with the tackle for Pulaski Academy as we go inside of a minute in this third quarter. Hightower lines up to take the direct snap now, and he will be turned away.
Ball's out.
The officials are walking in on the 20-yard line. Looks like Christian got it back, and it's a first down.
Yep, he got it.
Boy, it didn't look like it from here that he did to me. Joshua Baker, by the way, late on the ball. So if the ball did come out, it may have been the fumble that got him the first down. Watch games after the broadcast at aetn.org/sports. First down and 10 for Little Rock Christian. It's an option play again. This has not been a well-received play for Little Rock Christian today. And again, it doesn't get much, if anything. Maybe back to the line of scrimmage. Nope, it's going to be a loss of 1.
That's
about 2.
The third time they've used it, and I think almost every time now, Scott, it's been a lost yardage play.
And RJ, you said it earlier. I think if he keeps it, you at least get a positive gain out of it.
Look at that, 24 first downs for Pulaski Academy, 9 for Little Rock Christian.
47-yard deep balls don't take many first downs.
That's a good point.
How pumped up is Scott Inman? This is the longest drive potentially for Little Rock Christian today.
Yeah. Second down and 12. They got a long way to go, Eric. Long way to go. Hill over the middle. And his receiver couldn't haul it in. Michael Loggins got a paw on it, but couldn't complete it.
I mean, it's a good throw, a little high, and just couldn't quite haul it in right there. You know, if he looked out to the flats, he had his running back wide open that probably could have picked up 6, 7, 8 yards on the play.
Christian 4 for 10 on third downs. Hill flushed. Buys time again. And finds a man in the middle of the field. Caught by Matthew Ware. And it will be a first down. 17 yards, and that's all Justice Hill right there.
Well, great job by Ware to not only catch the ball, but maintain focus, because he got hit hard right after that.
Yeah, there's also a flag down, and it is a personal foul against Pulaski Academy.
And he got hit hard, so now not only do you get the first down, but you get the personal foul 15-yard penalty that's going to take the ball all the way to the 50-yard line.
Pretty quiet, Scott and RJ on the PA sideline right there. This is something they are, I know you mentioned RJ, they've been down a few times this year, but a lot of silence right now.
Well, Christian will not have to snap it, and they're not going to. That's going to be the final play of the third quarter, with Little Rock Christian and Pulaski Academy deadlocked at 31 in the 5A state championship game. You're watching the 2018 Centennial Bank High School State Finals on AETN Sports.
The moment of discovery. You can't beat it.
There's a dream that waits like a tiger.
That was amazing.
An ember that grows to a fire. And we're climbing to the greatest heights. The world can't stop us now. They try to bring us down, but we just burn brighter.
Wow, how about that?
Nothing like this in the world.
Pulaski Academy has outgained Little Rock Christian 490 yards to 234. But we are tied as we start the fourth quarter, and Christian with the chance to take the lead. And Hill's going to go deep again. This one's hanging up there for grabs, and it is caught by Hightower again after he tipped it to himself.
Scott, it's like, let's volleyball it up there. We'll make a catch. I'm going to just throw it as high and far as I can, that being Justice Hill, and his receivers come down with it. And what a circus catch right there. And, hey, you know, winning a state championship, sometimes they say is about luck, and they got some luck right there.
43 yards, and it's first and goal. The give is to Givens, and Givens rides a pack of blockers into the end zone for the touchdown. 7 yards. And Little Rock Christian has taken the lead.
How about that? I mean, Givens just powered, and then that offensive line got in there and gave him a little push, and he was able to get in the end zone for the touchdown.
Pandemonium, guys, on the Little Rock Christian Warrior sideline. I mean, pandemonium.
Isaiah Hankins on for the point after. Snap a little high, and the kick is blocked. The kick is blocked, and it will be a 6-point lead rather than a 7-point lead. Zach White blocked it for Pulaski Academy, and it's 37-31. Little Rock Christian leads PA. We'll take a break and be back in a moment. You're watching the 2018 Centennial Bank High School State Finals on AETN Sports.
PBS won 9 Emmy Awards. Wow. Including more news and documentary Emmys than any other network. Congratulations to all our winners.
Kevin Kelly, 191 career wins in his 15th season at Pulaski Academy. He is an offensive genius. What does he come up with for his Bruins, now down 6 in the state championship game? And they're going to return a kick. Mason Cobb run out of bounds at about the 20-yard line, and that's about where the Bruins will start.
Yeah, and you know, we talk about Kevin Kelly, and he is going for state championship number 5, but let's not discount Eric Koyu and what he's done. You know, this is a guy that was over in Madison Academy in Huntsville, Alabama, won 3 state championships there in 7 seasons at Madison. Now, that was at the Class 3A level, but then he goes from there and then is the offensive coordinator for the Israeli Football League and was kind of the international coordinator for that league. So 2 very, very good football coaches.
Their teams didn't make the state title by accident. Here's Henry. And Henry just pushes his way through a tackle out of bounds at about the 28.
And you look at that matchup right there, Scott, and you got Jaden Kelly, or excuse me, you got Hudson Henry, excuse me, at 6'5", 235, and you've got Michael Loggins at 5'9", 160.
That is a mismatch, to say the least. Jaden Kelly in the backfield. Bratcher backpedaling, and he throws it into the hands of defender Jack Mabry, and Mabry is going to score.
I mean, I don't know what Bratcher saw right there. I think he was trying to get it to his running back, but he just throws it right into the hands of the linebacker. Watch this right here. I mean, he steps right in front of it.
Yep.
Okay, so Kelly, he was trying to get it to Kelly, but right there for Little Rock Christian, you've got Jack Mabry who steps in front of the pass and is able to take it in the end zone. Great job by Mabry.
Scott Inman, we had a defensive scoop and score last night.
Yep.
Is that deja vu of what we just saw right there?
Scoop and score last night, a pick 6 of 22 yards on the return today. And whistles and flags before the snap there on the point after try. My goodness, hey, what about Mabry's grab? I mean, he that's on a very alert. It sort of came right to him, but then again, at short range like that, you got to react fast. It was over on his hip.
Stay on his feet as well, guys. He kind of got tripped up there, and to get that touchdown, oh my goodness.
Penalties half the distance to the goal.
Well, this will be interesting now. That's against Pulaski Academy.
They're bringing Justice in.
Yeah. I think that's the right move. You've already given up a missed point after, or your last one was blocked. Now you have a chance to get back up by 14, and the ball moved up to the 2-yard line.
Boys, I don't think I've seen the wheels fall off on Pulaski Academy like this in a long time. And I don't know if it's just the wheel, but you give up a turnover like that, and you know, after a big score, and it's been a long time since we've seen this out of a Pulaski Academy team.
Givens will line up behind Hill, and he'll go under center. And a little flip into the end zone for the 2-point conversion. Chris Hightower again, I'm sorry. Hightower is having himself a day.
How about the fact that wasn't even a throw? That was like a shovel pass.
Yeah.
That was over the offensive line's head.
It's like the option pitch.
Kind of had
upfield.
Kind of an alley-oop, if you will, guys. Hightower, go get it. He, by the way, is an outstanding basketball player, just like Justice Hill is as well.
So just like that, it's 45-31.
So Mabry's numbers, 10 tackles, 5 of them solo. He has a tackle for loss, an interception, and he returned it for a touchdown. He's a team captain linebacker, son of Jim Mabry, by the way, who was a Razorback All-American on the offensive line in 1989. So he comes from good stock, and he is having a heck of a state championship game.
I can't reiterate, guys. The Little Rock Christian student section is, as you can imagine, extremely fired up, but they've been like this all game long and are having a blast.
Eric, sounds like you need to go over there and do some body surfing or something in that student section.
They're doing just fine without me helping them. How about that, guys? Just fine.
Well, Something tells me it's going to take more than 45 to win the football game, though.
I agree.
11:26 left to play. That's a lot of time.
We got a lot of football left.
That sails over the head of Cobb and will reach the end zone for a touchback. AETN appreciates all the fans who support public media in Arkansas. Consider becoming a sustaining member at aetn.org.
You know, RJ, Scott, we talked about the Little Rock Christian crowd. How about dead silence on the other side with PA?
They are on their feet now. Yeah, their student section now encouraging the parents and other fans to get up, and now they're making some noise. First down at the 20. See how Bratcher responds after that pick six. He'll go right back to the air, but it's a safe pass to John David White again, and he spins his way up the sidelines, and he may have a first down.
That's a great first move that he makes, and then a spin move to just keep those legs driving and get the extra yardage. And it does look like they are going to pick the first down up.
Hand off to Kelly. And Kelly with a quick burst over the 35-yard line, tackled by Jackson Woodard.
Scott and RJ, what do you think about this? This is what you want if you're Christian. You've got to avoid the big play here because you know what that will do momentum-wise. Can that Warrior defense maintain what they've done all half long?
Second down and 3. After a pump fake, he goes to Henry, and Henry couldn't hang on. He turned to go upfield before he had the ball.
Well, you don't see that very often. Nope. And that time, you're right, he didn't look it all the way in and just popped out of his hands. And see right here that he'll go left side. He had it, and then he just looked upfield. And so that brings up a third down and short, though. And there's about 10,000 plays Coach Kelly could go on this 3rd and 3.
Get the feeling he has a big playbook. 5 of 14 on 3rd down. Bratcher's going to keep it. Boy, shakes off 2 tackles to get the first down. What a run by Bratcher. Titus Colquitt will get the tackle, but that could have very easily been stopped short of the marker. That was all Braden Bratcher right there. And the drive is alive. Bratcher looking left all the way. Cobb is behind the defense, behind his defender, and he will be ridden down inside the 35-yard line by Michael Loggins. And the chains move again after a gain of 21.
Well, that's a nice job by Cobb right there. As he gets in the space where there's no defenders. He's got one bracketed on the top side and on the bottom side, and he just kind of fits in that middle area, and Bratcher's able to find him.
Bratcher looking for Henry. Henry makes the catch inside the 20-yard line.
I'm telling you what, that is a big collision right there. When you've got Hudson Henry and Alex Veazey going up against one another, that's a lot of man going up and making contact.
Pulaski Academy in the red zone. Inside handoff to Kelly, and Kelly spurts to the 15-yard line.
I'll tell you what, if he was able to get through that hole right there, there would have been nobody between him and the end zone.
Guys, RJ, you've been doing PA a long time. I don't remember when they didn't score in a quarter. They did not score in that 3rd quarter.
Second down and 7. Bratcher has good time going end zone over the head of Merritt Jones, behind him as well, and Bratcher just misfired a bit there. I think he had him.
He had him. If he throws it on the inside, he's got a touchdown, and that time just had him turned around and went to that backside, and Merritt just got all tangled up.
It was 31-21 Pulaski Academy at halftime. Bratcher on 3rd and long. That pass is tipped up into the air and intercepted. Intercepted by William Parker Kerfoot, and it is another Pulaski Academy turnover.
And that time it's another deflected pass right at the line of scrimmage. It gets popped up in the air, and anytime the ball gets knocked up in the air like that, it's up for grabs. Let's watch it right here as Bratcher just had it deflected at the line. Let's see who got their hand on it now. Nice job that time by Little Rock Christian. As putting his hand up was Jake Mabry. He's made a lot of plays today, and then coming down with the interception was William Parker Kerfoot.
So Justice Hill leads his Warriors back out. And he's going to go on the quarterback draw to the outside. And Hill is going to be banged down at the 33, 34-yard line by Trent Sawyer. Well-designed play there. He had a lot of space.
Yeah, he did. And that time he saw that the seas parted right up the middle, and he said, you know what, I'm going to go with this thing.
I worry a little bit about how Justice carries that football, though. He holds it like a basketball, huh? He's palming that football. Handoff goes to Givens. And Givens goes left side and gets positive yardage. Jake Terry there for the stop for Pulaski Academy.
So, you know, Eric just made the stat about when was the last time Pulaski Academy has been shut out in a quarter. My buddy, Maurice Moody, who's the head coach over at Little Rock McClellan, sends me a text, says, we shut them out for a half 2 years ago.
There you go.
Thank you, Coach Moody.
He remembers that game, doesn't
Yes.
He? Love that guy.
Givens bounces it outside, gets minimal yardage. There's a flag down. Grant Pino makes the stop for PA.
It's so important, RJ and Scott, for this Little Rock Christian team, do not look at the scoreboard, do not look at the clock. Keep grinding it out here. And you're up on 2 scores right here. You're very close, but you got to focus.
During the run, holding on the offense. Penalty is 10 yards from the spot of the foul.
Nothing can kill a drive like a holding penalty.
Holding penalties are no fun. I mean, because you get the little bit of momentum, you're feeling good. There's nothing worse than getting a big play, and you're all the way at the other end of the field, and you look down, that little yellow hanky sitting there, and you got to go, okay, we got to walk back.
So that's going to make it 2nd down and 16. The clock does restart. Givens was in the backfield. Hill chased out of the pocket and throws into the sidelines. He just launched that one, threw it away. We do understand by looking at our monitors here the clock is not showing up, so we'll try to do our best to keep you appraised of the time. There's 8 minutes and 14 seconds left in this one. And that is an eternity.
Yeah, that's like a whole other football game.
Yeah, it is.
3rd and 16, guys. The playbook's open here, but more than anything, you do want to keep that clock running, right?
I would think so. A throw over the middle of the field maybe, or maybe Hill's running for it. Boy, he is way back in the pocket. He's 20 yards from the line of scrimmage, but he finds Alex Clark, and Clark breaks tackles, and he's got the first down.
I mean, Scott, he dropped back 15 to 20 yards to make the throw, and then it comes forward and picks up the first down. Boy, that's a big-time throw right there.
Yeah, mark that down. 8:02 left in the ball game. Justice Hill connecting with Clark on 3rd and eternity. Man, what a play.
24 yards on the connection, and they're in plus territory. Handoff, Kendall Givens. You do think they want to start running some clock time. I'd be curious about their tempo here, too. Do they slow it down, or do they keep the pressure up? 4 yards on the carry.
Doing a great job, though. I mean,
here's the replay, RJ, of the pass play.
I mean, that's just a rope. That throw right there is the reason why coaches are saying he's an SEC-type football player. I mean, throws it, rolls back. Now, I know they don't like him rolling back 20 yards, but, I mean, just the throw alone, he's got a strong arm and just has great vision on the field.
They are draining this play clock now. I thought this might be where they start to do that. 5 seconds on it. 7:06 and counting in the game. Hill breaks loose. One man to beat. And he's tripped up at the 15-yard line.
I don't know if you watch Justice Hill, and he kind of does the Deion Sanders high step about midway through, then kicks it back up. I know he's trying to figure out which way the defender's going to go or whether he should shoot back in. But, man, if he keeps running, he's going to outrun the defender.
Blake Titus with a touchdown-saving tackle.
Yeah, the camera guy.
After a 30-yard run.
Yeah, the camera guy all juked out, and there he goes right there. Just if you keep running, you probably outrun the defender.
Again, they're going to run that play clock, let the game clock down as low as it can go. We've got the game clock back on your screen now, 6:40 and under. They get it off with 1 second on the play clock. That was nicely done. Hill scrambling again. And he protects the football, buried at the 14-yard line. No gain.
And here's the thing, Scott. There's really no sense in throwing the football. And really there's no sense in handing the football off and potentially fumbling when you can let Justice Hill just take it and run around and take time off the clock.
I do think they've got a score here, though.
I mean, yeah, but if you get it down to 3 or 4 minutes left in the game and it's a 2-score game, but the one thing that Pulaski Academy's got going for them is they kick that onside kick.
Yep.
And they're very good at it.
Yep. But it has not worked today.
Haven't got one today, guys.
That's right.
And the stat coming in that I told you guys that Kevin Kelly told me, Pulaski Academy is undefeated when they get at least 2 onside kicks. And they've not gotten one today.
They are going to take a timeout after the play clock goes to 1. And the game clock now at 5 minutes and 48 seconds.
Look at Justice Hill right there. Try to get a good shot. He's tired. He's been running around. He needed that break.
Guys, I'm trying to eavesdrop a little bit into PA's huddle right here on the near side. It has to be, you have to stop them right now. You have to stop them right now. That's the message. And it pretty much is the ball game, Scott. If they were to get 7 more, I don't know if they could do that.
Watch the programs you love when you want with AET and Passport. Learn more about this on-demand streaming benefit at aetn.org. Well, you couldn't have asked for a better finish to the 5A state championship game. Pulaski Academy the favorite. They'd outgained Little Rock Christian significantly at halftime. They've still outgained them by 200 yards, 563 to 363, but turnovers. As my man Rick Schaefer always talks about on the Razorback broadcast, turnovers can make the difference. When you win the turnover battle, you're going to win the game more than 75% of the time.
And Scott, a couple of those where PA was driving and making noise, and they Little Rock Christian able to get that ball back.
It's 2nd down and 11 in the red zone for Little Rock Christian. Hill to throw. He set his feet, had nowhere to go, and it's all Justice Hill improv now. He just throws it away. And that does not keep the clock going. Chris Hightower, the closest guy, he was the intended receiver.
Just got the attendance numbers for today's game. 10,762 is the number for today's attendance.
So we had 11 yesterday in the first game. 20, a little more than 20. We were right at 32 total. So now we're about 43,000 for the weekend. That's a great first weekend.
Yeah.
Hey, guys, looking back at that 2-point conversion Christian got to make it 45-31. Even if you don't get 7 here, you've got a really good kicker that can push it up to, a 17-point lead.
They're going to throw it. Hill swings it out to Loggins, and Loggins will get inside the 5-yard line, and that should be enough for a first down.
See where they spot the football, but that's a nice job. Just let Loggins do all the work. You throw it out to him, and you got some great blockers right there to make the run, and he's able to get down there to the first down. So it's 1st and goal.
Gutsy play call, but great execution, guys.
Pulaski Academy has all 3 of their timeouts. And at what point do you think about trying to take them here? I mean, you're going to have the clock down to 5 minutes before the ball is snapped here or close to it. And if Pulaski Academy goes down 3 scores, it's the option play. Hill makes a man miss, turns it upfield, touchdown, Little Rock Christian.
And that's what we talked about all game, Scott. We said if Justice Hill would keep it himself on the option play, they'd have a better opportunity than pitching it off. And that, we saw it right there for the score. He kept it himself, cut back up inside, because Pulaski Academy had the outside defended. If he was going to go with the pitch, they had it all dead to rights all day. And that time he came back in and scored. And I don't think anybody saw this coming. Not this score right here.
Hill was looking to turn it up right away, too. You could see it. Hankins on for the extra point. And Little Rock Christian trying to shock the high school football world today. Up on mighty Pulaski Academy, 52-31.
Now, Scott, RJ and I spent some time in Texas. We've seen crazy comebacks in that part than John Tyler and I guess was it Plano East, RJ, back in the day.
Yeah.
But right now, I think you've got to say for PA, they got to get the ball in the end zone as fast as possible. They have not been able to do it. They're being shut out in the second half. Unbelievable.
Here's the thing. It's been almost 6 minutes since Pulaski Academy's had the football. I mean, Little Rock Christian has done a great job of just holding on to the football and having just really long drives. And this last one went 11 plays, 84 yards.
I tell you what they did also, guys. That PA defense is flat worn out at this point.
Justice Hill with 326 yards of offense, 218 passing, 108 rushing. And that will make the end zone again for a touchback.
Well, if there ever was points for kicking it off the ball and it just landing right on the the 1 yard line, this young man, Hankins, has done it all game long. Just floats around right there on the goal line, guys.
He's done a good job kicking off today for sure. And, boy, Scott, if you're Pulaski Academy, you're going to have to figure out ways to air it deep and fast.
I was just thinking, Little Rock Christian's been the one that's scored quickly today. Pulaski Academy has been more methodical with their offense. They really can't afford to be now down 3 touchdowns. They will throw a short pass out to Cobb, and he's going to be wrestled down immediately.
Well, that time for Pulaski Academy, they just didn't get any outside blocking. They tried to get it to Cobb, but then their wide receivers just had no block. John David White missed his block and didn't allow for anybody to catch the football and run.
Pulaski Academy has not scored since the second quarter of this 5A title game. Bratcher finds Henry over the middle. And Hudson Henry will have the first down, rolled down at the 35-yard line. Alex Beasy gets the stop. It's a gain of 15. The Bruins are going to have to pretty soon start to get a little more urgent with their hurry up. They're right back up there on the line. And Bratcher moves the pocket again. Now he's going to have to run. Makes a nice move. Steps out at the 46.
And that time it was good to get out of bounds. Pulaski Academy's got all 3 timeouts remaining. You get out of bounds, you move the sticks at the first down marker, and it stops the clock at 4:39.
This offense averaged 47.6 points per game coming into this contest through 13 games, 12-1 record. Been held down significantly today. Bratcher just throws it away. And there's a flag down. Bratcher was hit out of bounds, and this may be a late hit against Titus Colquitt.
Yeah, and that time for Little Rock Christian, his teammate, Drake Bradley, walked over to him and said, why? Why would you do something like that?
Personal foul, roughing the passer, against the defense. It's 15 yards from the previous spot, automatic first down.
Those are devastating, guys. You mentioned Rick Schaefer and the turnovers. You've got to maintain your composure. You've got a nice lead here. You're on the ropes of pulling off a major upset, but got to play clean football and play smart football, guys.
Don't need to give Pulaski Academy an inch, much less 15 yards. Bratcher with a new set of downs. An offensive line trying to hold that pocket. He goes on the quarterback keeper again. And Jackson Woodard, with some teammate help, brings him down after a gain of 4.
You know, Little Rock Christian's doing a really good job just keeping coverage on all these wide receivers. Bratcher keeps looking. He goes first progression, second progression, third progression. And there's nothing there. I mean, there's nobody even remotely wide open right now.
Bratcher standing still in the pocket all day to throw. Still nobody to throw to. And now he's going to lob it up for grabs, and it's going to be caught. Still on his feet is White, and White is into the end zone for a touchdown.
And there's 2 Little Rock Christian players down on the turf right now.
A 35-yard touchdown play.
RJ and Scott was amazing on that play right there, and we'll check in with the guys as soon as I find out something. John David White was double-teamed all throughout that play, but somehow found a way to get open.
Yeah, watching the replay right here, look at that. And just he boxed himself out, was able to make the catch, and went in. I don't really see. They ran into each other right there. That's why both players are hurt. But great job by John David White to get himself in front of the defender and make the catch and go in the end zone. And
it's Michael Loggins and Alex Veazey.
This is the second time today Loggins has been down the turf.
Loggins is up, guys, and then they're going to get number 13 up here. I think his ribs got hit pretty hard is what the team doctors were saying right there.
So it's a Pulaski Academy score, Scott, and I mean, you've got 3:38 to play, and you know the onside kick's coming on. So
Christian has done a great job of fielding that so far today. First, you have to deal with the 2-point conversions. They're going to continue to go for 2. You get behind here, though.
They are
going to kick it. I was just about to say, because if you get behind here needing 3 touchdowns this late in the game, you really need the extra point, not the 2-point conversion. Clay James is on. And he puts it through. And that closes the gap to 52-38. It's a 2-touchdown game again.
Look at Kevin Kelly right there on the screen. He's walking thinking, he's running that hand through the hair, trying to figure out what he's going to do next. And, I mean, look, here's the thing. With 3:38, that's a really huge hill to try to climb. And
it's all on this one, I think, RJ. If they were able to, if Christian could do what they've done all game long and be really good with their hands team.
Oh, yeah.
But, PA gets this one. This game gets interesting in a hurry.
Yeah, here's the thing, Eric and Scott. They got to get 2 scores. And you got to get 2 scores in 3:38. And they've not gotten one onside kick the entire game. Even if they get this one, who's to say they make the next one, And so.
Well, that one just only took 1:24.
Yes.
And it went 80 yards. 5 plays, 80 yards, 1:24 seconds. So the time is there, but like you said, they're going to probably have to get this onside kick. If Christian recovers this and then gets a first down, it's for sure over.
Look how the ball's set up right here on the tee. It's almost kind of got a tilted angle on it. This is a different type of onside kick.
Seelig puts it on the ground, and let's see.
Clark again.
Looks like Christian's going to hang on.
Yeah.
Clark got another one. I think that's 4 today, guys.
That was not an easy one either.
No.
Some of them have come right to him. Some of them had to go to the ground, but he had people all over him there and had to make the play. That's a big-time grab for Little Rock Christian.
Watch this. Boy, it takes that high hop, and he makes a hands catch.
Never lost it. He barely bobbled it.
Yeah, he doesn't even have that up in his stomach most of the time. He had to catch it like a wide receiver and come down with it. So now Christian's got the football and looking to ice this game away.
We'll see if PA takes a timeout after this run by Hill. He's got to protect the football, too. Hasn't fumbled today, but he does carry that ball out. It looks like he's holding it a little closer to the vest on this drive. It's a gain of 3.
And here's the other thing is if you can get Christian to go on a 4-and-out and use all your timeouts, they punt it away and
that's what I mean. It's going to take a first down. Christian needs a first down to ice it here.
Well,
but like you said, even if they get the ball back, Pulaski Academy's going to have a long way to go.
Yeah, Scott, sorry to interrupt you there. Justice Hill hobbling a little bit again. Maybe a cramping issue. Yeah, cramping issue here.
You start doing the math there. So Pulaski Academy, assuming they'll take timeouts after this second down play.
You know, you've called a lot of games, whether it be college or high school. Did you ever think that with 3:29 on the clock, 3:29 on the clock, 52-38, you'd be...
It's not over yet?
Yeah, we would sit here and try to mathematically come up with a way that a team could try to get back in a game.
That's true. That's true.
Well, if there's anyone...
If it wasn't Pulaski Academy.
That's exactly, Scott, I was thinking.
Yeah, if it wasn't Pulaski Academy, I don't think I'd even be attempting to do that.
All right, guys, all right, Justice is coming back in, but he is obviously limping there, guys. You can see it from the booth, I'm sure.
Yeah, he's definitely favoring that right leg, but he's got a running back there. You know he's probably not going to throw the football.
I still think he just got one of those hard cramps and his leg stiffened up a little bit.
They're going to give it to Givens. Givens finds a hole on the right side. He's going to be brought down at the 46-yard line. It's a gain of 4. That's still going to be a good 3 yards short of a first down. And I don't think they're going to stop the clock this time.
No, PA's not stopping it, and they haven't even started the play clock yet.
They want a couple of times. They want a couple of timeouts on offense if they get the ball back. That depends on this play. First down pretty much ices it for Little Rock Christian.
They're down to 10 on the play clock. Now down to 6, 5.
They'll hand it off to Givens again, and he's going to be stopped short of the first down. Chris Connell diving in there to make the stop. It's a loss of 1, and Pulaski Academy burns their second timeout, stopping the clock with 2:44.
And not only did he not get the first down, he lost yardage on the play.
Yep.
And so, Scott, now it's decision time. I would assume, and I'm no football coach, but I would assume you punt it away right here and not give Pulaski Academy a short field in case you don't make it. Now, if you're Kevin Tilley and you're on the offense, you go for it. But I think the smart thing right here, you punt this thing away, try to pin them deep, and make Pulaski Academy go the length of the football field.
It'd have to be 4th and 1 for me to think about going for it here.
And guys, with Justice Hill still getting worked on over there on the sidelines, you know, he's your guy you want to scramble around and make the play. Now, if he's not 100%, I think you punt it here too, guys. No doubt about it.
So Pulaski Academy is going to get the football back. They need 2 touchdowns, and they have 2 minutes and 44 seconds. 1 timeout.
So Pulaski Academy is going to send a man deep. I believe that's John David White back there. Or excuse me, it's going to be Zach White.
He stands at the 20. Jack Mabry has had some good punts today, partly because Pulaski Academy has not tried to return it, and he's gotten some good rolls. And this one stops dead inside the 10-yard line. That one bounced up and down like it was a round ball.
Yeah. When you're getting the hops and the breaks and the bounces, everything's going right for you in one day.
Support the programs you love on AETN. Become a member at aetn.org. A 39-yard punt for Jack Mabry that time. And Pulaski Academy will have to go 92 yards and then get the onside kick and score again to keep this game going.
Scott, there's 2:32 left on the clock. I
know it.
I know it. This is intriguing to see what kind of play calling you come up with Hudson Henry and John David White. And really, if Little Rock Christian can get a stop right here, that's even the more impressive part.
Or another turnover. Bratcher pumps, hits Henry over the middle for the first down, and Henry breaks tackles over the 25-yard line.
Now watch right here. Pulaski Academy is going to go quick. They're going to wait until the official blows his whistle, and that's when the ball's going to be snapped.
He almost broke that one, guys. Almost.
18 yards on the pass and catch. Bratcher's going to run, and he slides down at the 34-yard line. That means the clock will continue to tick.
Down to 2:13 and counting. Pulaski Academy is a little slow getting to the line.
We'll be at 2 minutes before they snap it here. Bratcher looking left, and he throws it into the hands of a defender again. Intercepted by William Parker Kerfoot.
How about that? You look at it, and I think he was coming down to the bottom side. We'll look at the replay. I don't know if that ball slipped out of his hands or not, but it went right to Kerfoot. You see him eyeing that left side, never looked him off, and that time trying to find Hudson Henry that was out there and just underthrew him, and Kerfoot was right there to make the catch and the interception.
And Little Rock Christian can run out the clock now. Pulaski Academy can only stop it once. They just got to hang on to the football. And Givens moves the pack to the 35-yard line. The Bruins will likely burn their final timeout.
How about this, Scott? You know, for Little Rock Christian, never won a state title. This is a team that really, you look at, this is their first state title game, and they went up against a powerhouse today in Pulaski Academy. Pulaski Academy was going for their 5th straight state championship, and Little Rock Christian is going to be a champion after today.
And RJ, think about the season the Warriors had. You know, you lose your star player for a period of time. What a job by Coach Koyu to keep everybody together, this whole team believing that you can still get to this point. It's not been an easy season for these guys.
5 turnovers. I mean, that's the story of the game.
Yeah.
4 interceptions by the quarterback Bratcher and a fumble. That's +4. Little Rock Christian has 1 turnover, so they're +4 on turnover margin today.
And how, you know, I would imagine if you're a Little Rock Christian fan or a supporter, how good it feels to beat a Pulaski Academy team who, since 2003, I believe it was, Pulaski Academy has beaten Little Rock Christian 10-1 since 2003.
They've beaten a lot of people 10-1.
Yeah.
10 to none, maybe.
That's 2001, excuse me.
Second down, Givens in the backfield with Hill. No more timeouts for the Bruins. Hill's going to give it to Givens, and he wraps it up, and he gets close to the first down. Not sure they even need a first down at this point, but he will get 5 and be close to it. And if the sticks move, they can go to a knee. Now, it's going to be a little bit short. 3rd down and less than a yard. They can take the clock under a minute. The play clock has not started, now will, so they can take it under a minute before they snap the football.
You talk about the team coming together and staying together all season long, Scott and RJ. Let's give some props to this crowd, this student section. How happy are they right now? They finally got that state title.
Hill's going to keep it, and Hill will have the first down. And that will for sure do it. The celebration will begin in full force now. They can sense it. But now a new set of downs. The clock is running again, and they can go to a knee in the victory formation.
Yeah, I would imagine you're going to see a large amount of fans over on that right side get very loud.
Eric Koyu in his 3rd year leads Little Rock Christian to a state championship. Bounced from the first round of the playoffs a year ago. They said they used that as motivation coming into these playoffs. And the Warriors are on the field in full celebration. 52-38, they defeat the Pulaski Academy Bruins. The snap streak of 4 straight state titles for Kevin Kelly's Pulaski Academy squad, and Little Rock Christian begins a new tradition. How about that?
Yeah.
We got a couple upsets this weekend.
Yeah.
At least according to the experts, right?
No, yeah, you're exactly right. And I mean, what a game, though. This shaped up to be everything we thought it was going to be. And I'm glad to see that we had the game move out of the weather that was supposed to be on Friday night to have the atmosphere that we had tonight, because even though if you look at the box score, 2 weeks down the road, you'd say, man, they decided to play on that rainy night with all the turnovers that were in the ball game. But no, it was a dry night, and Little Rock Christian, they were just the better team in this game.
Pulaski Academy outgains Christian 653 to 394. That is a significant difference, but again, turnover is the great equalizer.
Hey, Scott and RJ, think about this senior class of Bruins. Since they've been in the program, 9th grade, most of them won state championships. Tonight didn't happen for them, but what a career some of these guys have had, led by, of course, the great Hudson Henry.
Yeah, you think about it, a lot of these kids, a lot of these seniors have 3 state championship rings already for Pulaski Academy. And they've felt success, and now, like you said, a new reign takes over in Class 5A. Final stats for the ball game, Scott, when you look at it, look at the total yardage, and we'll get that graphic pop back up there, but Pulaski Academy, almost 700 yards of total offense, where Little Rock Christian had almost 400 yards of total offense. I mean, between the two teams, you've got over almost 1,100 yards of total offense. Just, now you look at this game, Scott, and you crowned 2 first-time champions. Last night you had the 7A champion in Bryant. Tonight you got the 5A champion in Little Rock Christian, both first-time winners of a state championship.
Final numbers for Justice Hill, 330 total offensive yards, 218 passing. He was 12 of 25, 2 touchdowns and a pick. He had 15 carries for 112 rushing yards and 2 touchdowns. So 4 touchdowns, 330 total yards. We'll see if he ends up being the MVP of the state championship game. His top target was Chris Hightower, 4 catches for 92 yards and a touchdown. Braden Bratcher carries 25 times. A lot of those carries were because he couldn't find anybody open.
Yeah.
114 yards of rushing. Jaden Kelly, 13 carries, 100 yards gained. He did lose 1, so his net's 99. Bratcher throws the football 50 times, 30 of 50, 417, 5 touchdowns, but 4 interceptions. And those interceptions really the difference in the game. John D. White was his top target. 9, how about that? How about White? 9 catches, 200 yards.
Wow.
4 touchdowns.
And remember, he's a preferred walk-on at Arkansas and Arkansas State. I mean, this kid needs a scholarship, and he's good. He's real good. And I would imagine after tonight's game, he's going to have a lot of eyeballs looking at him and what he can do in the future.
Hudson Henry finishes with 8 catches for 102 yards. So you have some gaudy numbers there. 2 rushers over 100 yards, 2 pass catchers over 100, 1 at 200 for Pulaski Academy.
It's quite the excitement and the partying going on here on the field with the Warriors and their fans. And I tell you what a performance by these guys. I'll tell you what, Justice Hill, he put this team on his back. But, guys, I go back to Hightower. How many catches did he go up and get?
Yeah.
I mean, just really made some big-time plays.
They are announcing some of the post-game honors. We can tell you that Pulaski Academy's Wesley Coleman and Little Rock Christian's Garrett Sansom are the Burlsworth recipients. And we'll have the MVP award very soon. Probably going to be Justice Hill, I would imagine.
I'm throwing my life savings on that, guys. I'm just going to throw it out there.
Is that a lot, Eric?
Not very much.
I was about to say, I don't think that's very much. That's why he throws it out there.
I thought Scott said 5-1 odds.
I would imagine you're right. I think there were obviously some other guys who had great games, but he put the offense on his back. Yeah, we're getting it now. We were told Justice Hill will be is the MVP of the 5A state championship game.
And the timely plays, guys, on defense, those interceptions, they were not easy interceptions. Those guys were making plays on defense, especially when it counted.
So they are announcing the runner-up trophy right now, Scott. I tell you what, though, for all the success that Pulaski Academy's had, look at that. Coach Kelly's got them all lined up. Nobody's just kind of wandering off. They're all watching, and they lost today, but
they're going to be back. They'll be back.
Look, that's the thing. I don't feel sorry for anybody because Coach Kelly's a good coach, and he's going to have them coached up once again to do their thing. And so, but you got to be happy for Little Rock Christian, man. They did a heck of a job, especially after I asked some people before before the game. I said, does Justice Hill, does he really make that much of a difference for a game in which you guys had 62 hung on you by Pulaski Academy? And Coach Koyu and some media members, and they all said, yeah, he makes that much of a difference because defensively, you've got to now spy a quarterback that you didn't have to previously, and that's what Pulaski Academy had to do today. They had to find a way to slow down Justice Hill, and they didn't really find. They had that in the first half. They found a way to slow him down a little bit, but in the second half, it was all Justice Hill, and he got it done.
Yeah, RJ and Scott, we've been doing this a long time, and it's still tough to see guys like Hudson Henry and J.D. White fight back the tears because you know how much of their heart and soul they put into their team in this sport.
Little Rock Christian and Coach Koyu receiving the state championship trophy for Little Rock Christian. Big moment for that school, those players and those coaches. 2018 5A football champs. We'll be having some post-game interviews here momentarily. I see, Eric, you're walking your way over there towards the photo op. We'll be talking to some of the players and Coach Koyu following all of that. Well, it's been a fun weekend.
Yeah, it has.
To say the least. Greenwood's got us started yesterday with the afternoon game, and they were just unstoppable against the Benton Panthers. Bryant North Little Rock game was just a slug match. Coach Buck James told us after the game that he told his team they had to play John Wayne football if they were going to win that game. I wonder if he had to tell them who John Wayne was.
Yeah.
But they played John Wayne football.
I'm still trying to figure out what John Wayne football is because every Western I watched, I never saw John Wayne playing football in those Westerns. But
tough as nails.
Yes,
man.
I think that it's always fun as they're giving Justice Hill his MVP trophy right now. It's always fun to see these first-time winners in high school football. Whenever you bring, especially like a school like Bryant that's been in existence for quite a while, and now Little Rock Christian, that's the first time they've brought a state championship back to their city, and it's always fun to be a part of and watch that type of atmosphere.
Well, it's a big morale boost for those schools.
Yeah.
You know it is. To have that experience that they can all share together, be memories made for a lifetime. They'll always remember the state championship game at War Memorial. Very few people get to do it, and there's the appreciation right there. You saw it last night with Bryant. The Little Rock Christian players going to share it with the students as we go down to the field. And Eric.
Scott and RJ were with Coach Eric Koyu. You not only executed so well in that first half, or the second half, excuse me, but your Gatorade bath was executed well as well. Y'all had it go in the second half.
Yeah, it's a little wet and cold now, but thankfully it's a warm day, so it's not as cold as it could have been.
Talk about your team, and you were so calm whenever we spoke to you coming out to the third quarter. Just kind of describe that second half, and boy, your guys never lost their composure.
Well, we really try to teach, fight through adversity. Every game we've had adversity. We've had injuries. We've played from behind before. To challenge our guys, keep playing. Every momentum starts with the next play and recapture the momentum, and we had to win the turnover battle, and we did.
Talk about that. We'll get to Justice in a moment, but you had guys stepping up, making plays on defense, which really turned out to be the difference, didn't it?
Absolutely. We felt like when we got here that last year we had to get a defensive identity. Defense really rose up tonight, forced a lot of turnovers, tried to slow a great PA offense down somewhat. We did, and forced some turnovers.
That number 3, the kid could just make plays. He had some incredible, I thought Hightower and him worked so well together. He really led your team on offense to get down there in that end zone and really get that lead up to 3 scores at one point.
Right, absolutely. Justice Hill's a phenomenal athlete. He's a great football player, too. He's led us all year. He's made big plays. But hats off to Chris Hightower for making some huge plays tonight offensively. And offensive line played their hearts out, did their job, good protection. But really proud of all the guys. And, really the onside hands team, kickoff return hands team, we didn't lose any, and that's got to be a key to beating PA.
All right, Coach, real quick, we're waiting on Justice, but that crowd over there, that student section, I know every coach I ever played for, that means so much to you and your guys.
Absolutely. Our fans were in it the whole game. We had a great crowd. Impressed by the crowd, and, the students have been with us all year. They make a lot of noise, and, helped us with that rally there in the second half.
Coach, congratulations. Outstanding job on a great win.
Appreciate it.
All right, that's Coach Koyu right there. Well, first-class guy. Don't get too high, don't get too low, and fix to go get size for a championship ring here in a couple weeks. We're waiting on Justice guys in just a moment.
While we're waiting on Justice Hill, he's doing some other interviews with other members of the media. We'll take a break and come back with that interview. Back to War Memorial in a moment. You're watching the 2018 Centennial Bank High School State Finals on AETN Sports.
Your on-demand library of the best of PBS.
I'm to be Sebastopol's wife. She knows something about Sebastopol. He has a secret.
We are living in an extraordinary era of science. This is the amazing human body.
These and other shows are available with Passport. Become a member of this PBS station. Sign in and start streaming today.
Broadcast of this championship game is made possible by
Law Offices of Gary Green, a people's practice, representing people with serious injuries in areas of personal injury, nursing home negligence, and product liability. We are proud to be underwriters of AETN.
You'll find us at the end of a lot of long country roads, covering over 60% of the great state of Arkansas to provide reliable power to over 500,000 homes, farms, and businesses. The Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas, your local energy partners.
Hey, Little Rock Christian fans, you can purchase state champions merchandise by visiting ArkansasHighSchoolSports.com. The same merchandise being sold at the stadium is available online, so celebrate your championship and support your school by wearing the official state champions gear. Get your gear at ArkansasHighSchoolSports.com. Still waiting on an interview. You'll hear from Justice Hill in just a few moments. Eric will get him after he's done with other interviews, but when you look back over this, we re-rack the highlights. It may take a while to get through.
Man, it may take me a little while to get through these. Let's go ahead and roll the highlights. And when you look at it, it all started back at the 7:26 mark when Braden Bratcher was able to hook up with Jaden Kelly from 14 yards out. Made it look easy right there. Then here comes Justice Hill. But no, it's an interception. He was able to be picked off by Pulaski Academy. And at the 5:43 mark, Braden Bratcher did it again as he hooked up with John David White from 4 yards out to make it 14-0 in favor of Pulaski Academy. Then here's a big play by Michael Loggins, 45 yards out to make it 14-7 in favor of Pulaski Academy. Little Rock Christian was not done yet, as here comes Justice Hill as he's got a big run, takes it all the way down to the 1 yard line, and that's when Kendall Givens, he takes it in from 1 yard out. We've got a tie ball game, 14-14. Then Pulaski Academy comes back, and there was a fumble, but then given back to PA. Now here comes John David White, 17-yard reception. That was his second reception for a touchdown. Justice Hill, then later in the ball game, let's look at this highlight. It was a fumble, but now here's Justice Hill as he goes out left side looking to throw. No, he's going to run. Bounces it back left side and then walks into the end zone. That's a 7-yard run. John David White from 65 yards out. Look at this play. Takes it from one into the field to the other. Big block that time by Hudson Henry, and he takes it in for the score. And at that point, it was 21-20. Let's go back down the field and talk with Eric Sullivan, who's got Justice Hill.
All right, thank you, RJ and Scott. It's been a live broadcast, Justice, all across the state to watch you play. Man, did you come through in that second half? What was the key?
Just staying the course. We had adversity in the first couple series, and we went in the locker room down 10, and we've been talking about it all week. There's going to be adversity in the game, so just stay the path, stay calm, don't overreact, and we'll come out on top.
You and Hightower come up with some big plays. How much of a luxury is it to have a guy like that who really stepped up for you?
Yes, sir. That man made me look good. I thrown him some bad balls. He's dropped some passes, but we do the same thing for each other. We help each other out.
All right, your team, you went down for a few games this year. This group of guys stuck together. Y'all had to play PA earlier in this year. Wasn't a pretty game right there. How hungry and how excited was it to get a rematch with those guys?
Yes, sir. Very hungry. We've been looking forward to this since week 6. We had a couple key starters out on both sides of the ball, so we've been looking forward to our rematch, and coming out victorious was the plan.
Well, what's the feeling like? I know y'all still got some celebrating to do, but that group of fans and those students and the rest of your teammates, this is unbelievable feeling it.
Yes, sir. I don't have words.
All right, your career's about to come to a close in high school. How's it been, and how's your future looking here?
Yes, sir. It was a real fun high school journey. Since skipping football 10th grade year, playing basketball on varsity since the 9th grade. I'm just thankful to be a part of a school system like this, and it was a fun journey, and I'm looking forward to going up there and impacting on the basketball court in Fayetteville.
All right, he's your MVP, Justice Hill. Congrats, and good luck in the future.
Thank you.
All right, that's a pretty sharp young man, I would say, Scott and RJ. He's done a few interviews in his day, and as we said, I think after January 1st, he'll have an Arkansas Razorback basketball jersey on, we know for sure. But who knows with this guy and his, all the talents he brings to the table.
He's probably gotten a little media training already from Dad. I mean, let's be honest. Justice, a great interview there. Good job, Eric. Thanks to you for your work on the sidelines.
Well, you know what? We made it through the first half highlights. Now you want to roll the second half highlights. That's how many highlights we've got is Justice Hill. He was able to hook up that time with Chris Hightower from 41 yards out, and it made it 31-31 right there. And another big play, and look at Justice Hill just going back-to-back. That one to Hightower. Look, off one hand to the other, and now here's a big run by Kendall, and Kendall Givens, that is, as he's able to go across the goal line to get the score. These were late in the ball game, and you see the arm pump right there. Little Rock Christian jumping out ahead of this one. Now here's the interception by Little Rock Christian. Took it into the end zone, and Mabry took it in from 20 yards out for the score. Here's Justice Hill from 4 yards out to make it 52-31. The Little Rock Christian Warriors were feeling good at that point. Then this was the last score of the ball game as Braden Bratcher hooked up with John David White from 35 yards out, kept his balance and walked in the end zone. And the final score in this one, 52-38, as Little Rock Christian, they defeat Pulaski Academy.
It was a wild one, and it finishes off weekend one of the high school state championships here at War Memorial Stadium. A reminder, if you would like to get a DVD copy of the game, you can always check that out by going to FidelityLocal6.com. You can order your DVD of today's game. A lot of fun to be with you today.
Man, it's a great time, and we get to do this all again next weekend.
That's right. Starts on Friday, assuming we have no more stormy nights.
Yes.
Friday night, and we've got the 4A, the 3A, and the 2A all coming your way right here at War Memorial Stadium on AETN Sports. RJ and will be back with me for one of those games, and we'll also have Bobby Swafford back in and Eric Sullivan down on the sidelines. I want to thank Lee Francis again for stepping in and helping with stats, Todd Mercer for the spotting, Matt Johnson in the truck, and the entire crew helping us out here today. That's going to do it for now, for this weekend. Join us again next weekend for round 2 of the high school state championships on AETN Sports.